Morning to you wherever you are, however you're watching us. Welcome to the Friday edition of Healthy Morning Live here on Hstv. It is the 22nd day of the 7th month of the year. A big thanks to the old man up there for, giving us a brand new day. And thank you to you viewers as well for always making time and joining us on the show. We promise that today is going to be educative, exciting, and interesting. And of course, we're going to serve you the usuals and we're going to spice it with some good music in between to help you have a less stressful weekend. The usual is going to come your way. We're going to get into the kitchen with sweets, agility, and learn a thing or two that you can do for yourself or for your family, especially as the weekend is approaching. Precious Azuma, the sports goddess, is on standby with the latest in the world of sports. And then today on Infocos and Stay Alive, we're going to have it at a go. We're going to sit with the Reverend Minister. He is the head of Life Ahead Ministries, and we're going to talk about marriage and parenting. For some time now, we've been talking about, how to know if he or she loves you, the telltales. And we also looked at dating and courtship last week. Today we're going to kind of wrap it up with marriage, because at a point in time kids come in between marriage. So we're going to look at marriage and parenting, and we're going to have this conversation with the Reverend Minister of Life Ahead Ministries. And thank you and welcome once again to Healthy Morning. My name is Stephanie Georgina Manyana, and next to me is my super co-host William Diego Pakaveni. What's in
Hi, good morning.
What's in then?
Okay, I slept well.
Oh,
Yeah, I did.
Like the energy for me on
Just
Fridays
like,
is different.
The what?
Energy for me on Fridays is
Yeah, I
super
can
different.
tell. Everybody knows. You don't need to be told that. Like D-Crime said in his song, you don't need to be told.
But stand by that song, yeah. Like I really want to dance to that.
You are Stephanie Edijonarama. Well, it looks like you are not listening to what Professor Ade said yesterday.
What do you say?
He says, "Jentayana to Toshishano."
Okay,
So,
so-
in a swap of Tata Fresh.
Wait, from Apparel View.
Eh?
Like
Osi
Apparel,
Jai,
Osi
Sad
made
Nema now,
Apparel.
Giant Tire,
Na me
Pino,
vie me
Total. And wow, you are not helping the economy. What Okana Ghana credit card? Okay, I have it. Okana. See, I do know what is happening.
What's happening?
Our reserve, the BOG reserve, the $9 billion that we have has reduced to $3 billion. You know, how come? Yeah,
Because of what
6
I'm
billion
wearing.
6 billion.
Well, you should have told me earlier. I would have done something like this. Because I don't know. I love what you're wearing.
But you been ocean. Oh, now ocean for. This one is even an old one.
Yeah, but like I don't know the fact how you're looking.
3-4 years in here.
You're looking down by
Wash out the for but now all the way compare me there. I'll tell Professor there. You move count a Ghana in here, Breno.
Seriously. My outfit is from Apparel V today. Yeah, I'm wearing Apparel V.
In the new watching,
And
can also handsome.
She's on Instagram, Apparel V.
Can you watch
So
us
you
so
can-
handsome? Air blinking.
You can get onto the page on Instagram and then you.
But you're watching more channel, so I start time before to watch your flash.
You guys, why are you
We
doing
see
that?
this economy. Yeah, brain, yeah, bleh. Yeah, bleh. Yeah, bleh. Say what they want, bleh. I could talk. Waking out the starting Monday, and
I got this yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Why show? I thought work for I thought I for I share what for. No,
Diego,
you're comparing
I've been
yourself to
wearing
us.
this.
You're comparing yourself to us. Hey. Nah, go fine.
Now I was watching the Grammy. Who that?
This is more than even. This watch is even older than Denzel. Denzel is 9 years old. This watch is older than Denzel. Let me tell you something. Me told Papa no na che.
Of course, that's inside.
10 years.
It was an
The
share way. I think I
only
want
thing
this
I've
even on
changed
Wednesday.
is a strap. That's the only thing I've changed.
It's a my top papa. What does it?
Oh,
It's
wow.
my top papa, so it also lasts long. I mean, in 2 years, 3 years,
Well, women are always like that. They always buy more.
No.
They keep buying all the time.
No, we buy what we need to buy.
No. You.
Well, me, I
buy. Women buy on impulse. We all know women. We all know women buy on impulse. Unlike men, women buy on impulse. So long as kakasha no hobby yato. Sana mutie. Anyways, there's a lot of stories. A lot of agitations also happening. The Labour Front has just eased up after being assured of 15% cooler. There's another Kitikrachi people also not excited about some Netco supply of power. The power is quite erratic, so they're agitating for that. So 2 days ago we're talking about Oseche Mensah was almost lynched in Kumasi because of the roads. There's another group of people in the Western region, taxi drivers, also complaining that their roads are bad. They're also going for a strike. So it looks like we need a lot of tempers to be cooled, else
it looks like we have realized the language that these members of parliament understand, so we have to communicate with them in that language.
Not just members of parliament, the entire
because
government.
if a resident of Swame magazine has embark on the demonstration on Sunday, and then on Monday, and then Tuesday we see that works are going on, other constituents, of course,
that's all.
I wouldn't hesitate to jump into that demonstration and do same, because that's the only language they understand.
Charlie, it's sad. It's saddest thing, but anyways, let's see what will come out of those strikes that are ongoing. A lot of people are agitating. I'm sure if you should allow, the story should be even more than what you are hearing. There are lots of other people who are not excited about what is happening. Anyway, NIA boss has also been talking. Professor Tifwa has been talking about the fact that the people misconstrued what Baumia said regarding choosing the Ghana card over the 1,000 interchanges. So we'll get into that conversation when we get to matters arising, and we'll explain what he said or what it means. And then also he's been talking about justifying why the Ghana card should be used for the EC. Remember the EC saying that they're not going to create a new register, but if somebody above 18 now wants to register, they need a Ghana card. And he's saying that so far they've been able to churn out about 15.7 million. And but per calculation, the number of people in Ghana, whoever, that is about half of the population now. So what has happened to the rest of the half, which I think they also need to get here before. But he says that before the elections, they will be able to get everybody's cards to them. So yeah, and it's also somewhere also explained the reason why we saw some dump of Ghana cards that
some time ago.
Some issues and all that. He's been explaining in some other quarters and all that. It has to do with the fact that those were not authentic. It was made between 2008 to 2014 or so during the S1 administration, and it wasn't authentic. But this one has credibility, and it's and Shaliara Kubochi is also explaining somewhere that what she said did not nullify what Baumia said regarding the Ghana card. And so it's on front page of the paper somewhere, we are being told that a lot of people are using the Ghana card in their travels and all that. But so now it's just a document. It's supposed to buttress your documents, not a visa card. Sorry, a passport. Yes, so
okay.
So
yes,
I
was listening to Sophia Kufu, the board chair of the COVID-19 Trust Fund. It says that people can start donating. It's like
the last donation was in March. So the question, when I saw this, I was watching actually her talk. So out of 62 million that they gathered, they spent 52 out of that. Into a car, something in the range of 10 or less. And she's asking for more. The last donation that was made was in March, and she's asking for, even if it's kind,
even if it's even pledging.
But you know the VAT component has also gone up to 19.25%.
So we are still paying that.
Plus, there's 1% COVID levy in there. The last I checked, they are not dispensing money for COVID activities. I don't remember the last time we heard that they are dispensing money for COVID activities. So the 1% in a VAT calculation, I'm VAT now closer to 19.25%. 1% in a coin.
Yeah, because
they
I
have
believe
not even accounted for it.
Because I believe the monies they distributed to about 70, to some 70 districts. It has nothing to do with that.
No. It has nothing. This is just the donations made under her jurisdiction as a COVID levy, COVID support unit or whatever it is. DC, that center for infectious disease center. Those things. But it has nothing to do with the VAT bit. So where is that money also going into? Well, a lot to talk about when matters arise and time strikes. For now, as she said, we'll have a lot to share with you. So don't forget, the show is always interactive. Join us with your messages, your thoughts, and comment on our WhatsApp line, which is on your screen right now. You can also join us on YouTube, is Hstv GH Live. Send your messages over to us, and then we would also read it to the rest of the world. In case you're celebrating your birthday today, or know somebody who is celebrating his birthday today, you want to acknowledge the person, let us know. Send the message, the name, to us on our WhatsApp line, and we would do that accordingly. All right. So let's shift gears. We'll take a quick turn, and when we come back, we'll take you to the kitchen and learn something from Sister Jelly. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
is Hstv, grateful for your time. Training, training, training. Are you creative? Are you willing to learn? Are you interested in the media? Well, Hstv has an opportunity for you. Get training in camera handling, video editing, motion graphics, program presenting, MCR, sound engineering, news reporting, and casting.
In Accra to speak to some commercial drivers.
Why don't you call these numbers 054 6833 724 or 0240 300 507.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Hello sweet team, welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele, and as you can see, chicken light soup is going on here. Your girl isn't feeling so well, my throat is acting up, so I thought, why don't I conquer it before it gets worse with some chicken light soup? So I'm going to begin by singeing my chicken. It may have small hairs on it, so you can put a rack right on your cooker and do it, or you can hold it to the flame with a tongue just like I'm doing. As long as those little hairs come off, that is all that my business is right here. So I'll do everything and then we will get started. Here I have some rosemary that goes so well with chicken. Okay, I love it in my chicken soups. I also have 1 onion, spice blend cube, tomato paste, habanero pepper, garlic, and ginger. Here is our chicken, also nicely washed. As you can see, after singeing it, I gave it a good wash. To my blender, I'll add in the onion, parts of the ginger, and habanero pepper. I'll give it a good blend, and we're going to use it to steam our meat. I'll also add the tomato paste and spice blend cubes into the chicken and pour over our blended ingredients. Rinse out the blender, add that water, and we'll go ahead and season it with some salt, chicken seasoning, cover it up and allow it to come to a boil. Once it boils, we'll give it a good stir and we'll continue steaming it until the stock around it thickens up beautifully. Now remember, this should be the saltiest part of your cooking process to ensure that your meat in the end tastes good. If this is not salted enough, by the time you add in your water and everything, your soup will be ready. It'll taste good, but your meat will be bland. And I'm using hard chicken or hen, okay? Yes. While that is going on, I'll prep some onions, tomato, and habanero pepper, okay? Since the onion takes longer to cook, I like to poke holes in it with my knife before cooking it. You can also cut it up if you wish, but if you don't want to cut it, this is a trick that I use, and you want the blade to face away from you just in case it slides down, it doesn't cut you, okay? So be careful. I'll then transfer it into my pot, add some water, and I'll cook this until it is nice and tender. As you can see, I'm using hot water. No time to waste. Our meat has steamed beautifully. As you can see, all that oil is there and the stock have thickened up beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and check on my veggies. They are also nice and tender, so I'll get it out, blend it until it is nice and smooth, and we would pour it over our meat. But at this point, I'll add in some more fresh ginger because I want this soup to be nice and hot for my throat, okay? So add in your ginger and go ahead and blend it. I'll then pour it through a strainer over my chicken and I'll add enough water. Yes, y'all, I'm making light soup. If you want it to be thick, no need for straining and use less water, okay? But Ghana light soup is very light, just like its name. Give it a quick stir, cover it up, and bring it to a boil. Once it boils, allow it to boil for a good 10 minutes and then lower the heat and allow it simmer for an additional 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and prep my basil. Let me tell y'all something. Chicken light soup without basil, try this and you will never make it without it, okay? Also known as kowe or akukomesa. So I'll pluck some and go ahead and wash it beautifully. All right, y'all, it's been boiling for about 10 minutes now, so I'll lower the heat, but I always like to take all the deliciousness from the sides and add it. And check out our soup. It is looking good. It has simmered down beautifully. Our chicken is nice and tender. It is ready. But as I said, I'm going to go ahead and add in some of my basil. I'll also add in some more habanero pepper. For those of us that want extra heat to the soup, we can just mash it up into our soup. So once I add that, I'll let it simmer for about 5 minutes and check it out. Our soup is ready. All that is left is for us to serve and enjoy. And we would be enjoying this with, of course, fufu. Nothing like Sunday afternoon fufu. We all love that. So all are invited to enjoy this. Delicious chicken light soup with me. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and are inspired to try the recipe. Until I see you in the next one, stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke unamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all.
So baby, when I grow up, what else? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty bit pumped. Now, to be our team would be our one quadia, my one baby. So better, so the tea, if you have a bunty mensu, say you have to grab a poke and see a 4 you are man. Should you have seen a neat one and muscle, more comment. You saw I was sorry, I would hear the wolf winning now. And put was so I know she panty, I would yakoma. You yanko power whom my block see the man and bar. O Christo ne honto ne dia wada what to me put no matter for him and bra me dey da so o so me sat the big cap kokko we nya me kwan so se se nya me wada so tia se dia we di da kwan so tete wo time why be pain wada so gina ne na so and for we din to yase o nyankopon ne tia se o gidi ni be hwe ase predu asa we din be gwa ase dipa be serew na o nya hwe kra na ye twe wase ni gide mu wu pu ko to dwa ka sa nya me da ase se de o kase to me be dead intino and so she be brave but also kai be pia wo fi no ye kire wo dozi ni be fie na so wo da wo chi no be bompa ye wo nsa be ka wo die wo yesu di mo obede be pompe so be no de be ba na ma wa be kumbu what else in a biti na ma wa kumentu de wo de me hu to na ne nya me so ade ni na di puano e wie ni so be no de be ba na ma wa be kumbu yeah in a biti na ma wa kumentu de wo de me hu to na ne nya me so sing for me 1 2 3. Looking for someone to take your sorrows all away. Want to hold you tight and say everything's gonna be okay. Kai sabara will break it up. Oh my luna will never ya. Ain't you deny it to the child. Hold on to your faith. There will be a brighter day. Brighter day. I'm testing for grandpa. There will be a brighter day. Bring the palm belly. Brighter day. What else? Brighter day. I'm testing for grandpa. What can I say? We say what you're not here. What one the premo. And then I go share the bed to us. Be no piano. Which in a come with good boom. Faded Jeff piano. Sika will paint like Wusi. Will piano pay a sieno. The say Japadia, but that's an inting and copasse. Sika ye Pentiana Christopher Crayan to Wasi. Was it Uncle Pon, yes, and Janine, I meant to us. Bunia for and Janine, someone doesn't see. I saw for the Yasia for Fedia and Hassel Rimba. What a kind of way sit down as a will be at a boca. Just a Yassi, I will buy a dear and I will buy the qua. Near what is it came on, so we have your flower bar. Near your dear Uncle Pon, Kawaka, and Yawoya. What dear, Fanny said, in favor, Bravo, Yasha will buy. We share the school around the Giannis house of Bono Honka. Now, when you have a catcher was a down, I have a papa. Sana, your man, Uncle Pon, the yaw. In Shirano Wakuma, and you will seek out. A Christopher said, you never saw me. I wa. And may I be fair, what Waka Savage show, but with the palm belly. Brighter day. Brighter day. Brighter day. I'm testing for grandpa. There will be a brighter day. Brighter day. Brighter day. I'm testing for grandpa. For someone to take your sorrows all away, want to hold you tight and say everything is gonna be okay. And Tikai Sabra will break it now. Wamani Una when we are, hang it and I to be tried. Hold on to your faith. There will be a brighter brighter day. Brighter day. Unyami kuwa otese for brego. There will be a brighter day. Brighter day. Brighter day. Unyami kuwa otese for brego.
Blind girl na. Air pop.
Yeah. What else? Pretty big compared. Yeah. And I'm in the percent on a yacht. Now be cruising comfortably with my sweetheart. The percent chill I'm opinion, of course.
And the man Sako there singing Brighter Day. And today we hope and believe that it's going to be a brighter day. No matter how the week has gone for you, just believe that at least the last day of the week, the last day of the working week, is going to be a brighter day for you. All right, time for us to get into Matters Horizon for today. But before we do that, as usual, we have some birthday dedications to do. So I'll start off with my nephew's wife, happens to be Mrs. Rita Tojro. Today is your birthday, and I just saw your husband on Facebook wishing you a happy birthday. He says, honey, I love you, and blah blah blah. Yeah, so Rita, wherever you are, have a blessed birthday celebration today, and may God continue to bless you, sustain you, and keep you, and may the love you continue to give to Ellie grow. All right, so enjoy your birthday, Rita Tojro. Good one. All right, okay, so that's let's do another birthday that we have today. This one is coming from our very own Eddie of our Hstv, and it says happy birthday to you, Emanuela Danso. So Emanuela, wherever you are, have a blessed birthday and have a good day as well. And then another birthday from our very own Eddie once again of MCR goes out to you, Margaret, and it says, may you live to see your heart's desires come to pass. It's coming from Eddie to you, Margaret. So this birthday celebrant, Emanuela Danso and Margaret, is coming from Eddie, wishing you a happy blessed birthday. Beautiful picture you got there. Enjoy. All right.
Okay, and another glorious birthday to Enyonam Akusia Apedo. This message is from Redemption. He's Sammy here with us at Hstv at the MCR, and the message says that we are the best of friends, and I pray for good fortune in everything that you do, and for your good health as well, that your everyday affairs prosper as well as your soul. A happy birthday, my all-in-one inclusive, from Redemption to you. Again, happy birthday, my all-in-one inclusive, from Redemption to you. So a blessed birthday to you and you know wherever you are. From all of us here, a blessed birthday to you. And another message going out there, and this one is actually a birthday in advance because tomorrow happens to be his birthday, and it is to Constable Stephen Owusu Enchi of Cape Coast Regional SWAT, from your girlfriend, Constable Lois Helena Kolidu. Helena is my younger sister, so from her through me to you, Stephen Owusu Enchi. God willing, tomorrow happens to be your birthday. So a blessed birthday to you in advance. Wherever you are, enjoy your day, and as you start a new year, we pray that God blesses everything that you lay hands on, and may He bless you in all your endeavors. And we wish you many years. From Helena, your girlfriend, to you. She says she loves you so much, and she wishes you many years with beautiful memories. So wherever you are, Stephen, a blessed birthday to you. Again, a blessed birthday to you. So I think that'll be all.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I forgot the nephew that I mentioned that his birthday was supposed to be yesterday. Today's 22nd.
Oh, okay.
We forgot yesterday. So Samuel Terrence Parkabenin, I think he's based in Cape Coast now. Today is also yesterday actually was his birthday. So belated birthday to you, Sammy. We call him Terry. Everybody calls him Terry. So have a good one. Okay?
Well, today is his birthday.
No, it's 21st actually, and today's 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Well, you want us to go back to yesterday?
I thought you wished him in advance yesterday. So I was thinking
Belated
today was the
birthday
birthday.
to our producer too. He celebrated his birthday on the 14th of February, Valentine boy. He says we should acknowledge his birthday today. So a belated birthday to Shadrach Abbey.
A birthday in advance to me. If you are wishing a belated birthday to our producer, why not a birthday in advance to me?
A belated birthday to myself. My birthday was in April.
A blessed birthday in advance to me. My birthday is in November. So birthday in advance to me. It's on a Sunday, but we celebrate it on Friday and celebrate it on Monday.
I see when you sound in the more. You see when you sound in the
You guys, can you hear me? My son is out. They're so mean.
Okay, so let's get into the papers. We start off with a finder this morning from Elvis Daco, the team. And the banner headline this morning says 1,051 board flights using Ghana card. It comes with a picture of our very own Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and Kwame Isuatechi, Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service. And then it says from various countries to Ghana immigration data shows. So this is where the contradiction keeps coming. People are not too sure what exactly is being said by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and our Foreign Affairs Minister, Shirley Ayoko Botchwey. So what exactly are they saying? And in some portals that I saw this morning, Shirley is defending the fact that she didn't say something different from what our Vice President said. But in February, we all heard the Vice President says that we can use the Ghana card to travel to 197 ICAO countries. That was a blank check. I don't know what it is. Or it's supposed to deduce what he's trying to mean or something. But later on, I think just last 2 months, Shirley Ayoko Botchwey in Parliament said that it's supposed to serve as a document. It's not a passport. So it's supposed to serve as a document. So maybe that is what maybe our Vice President didn't explain into detail when he mentioned this issue as I say in February. So yeah, we are being told this morning that about 1,051 people have been able to board flights using the Ghana card as document, not passport, please, as document. So in case you don't have other documents in addition to what you have, they accept the Ghana card. All right. So that is a story. Page 2 of the paper has more details of that. You want to grab a copy and read more. And then at the top left corner of the paper this morning, it says 53 million Ghana cedis out of 62 million Ghana cedis raised by COVID-19 Trust Fund disbursed. It comes with a picture of Sophia Akufo, and she was the one in charge of the money, the COVID fund, essentially. Yeah. So she's accounting for how much the money has been, what has been used for. She mentioned that some very poor places were given 500 Ghana cedis each. For them to support them, they gave some kayes, they fed them, blah blah blah, or constituted the 53 million she's accounting for. Now they have about 9 million that is in reserve, and she says that the last time they had support was in March, so she's asking for extra support. So whether it's cash or kind, they are waiting for that.
Or even if it's a pledge, so that
she said that too. Even if it's a pledge,
immediately
you can pledge, pledge. You know, later they will come and chase you for it.
But is it good for you to pledge and then
the Bible
you
says
asked?
It's better say you give there and then what you have. But if you don't have, you can pledge. But when you pledge, also make sure you redeem it.
But is it right? Is it appropriate for the others to
for
kind
me,
of remind you? But
I don't do that thing. If I know at my 9 being CBB, so I will even do it. Even that,
or maybe
CBB so it can change. You don't know tomorrow.
So imagine you have a 10,000 Ghana cedis home. You didn't take it to church, or it's in your account, and then you get to church and then the preaching touches your heart, and then you pledge that then I'll maybe withdraw maybe a 5,000 Ghana cedis and then give to God.
Okay, so let me tell you something that I read when I was in senior high school. The book called The Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare. Antonio, Bassanio, and Shylock. Antonio is a friend to Bassanio, and Shylock is a money lender. He's a Jewish shrewd businessman. He lends money. Antonio decided to go and borrow money from Shylock, and unfortunately, when he went, he says, "Yo, don't worry. In next week, my ships are coming down. I have a lot of goods in it. I'll sell and I'll pay you." And Shylock says something. They are water rats. Anything can happen on the ship. That's what he was trying to tell him. But by the time the scenario came, by the time I could do fear. Anything could have happened to that money. And when you get there and the money is not available, but
it's a play. So should I get home and something is wrong and I'm not able to, do as expected? Should that be a problem?
It has become a sin. Ask the pastors, they tell you, so what? Why A woman is can one family.
But it's an uncontrolled situation.
So don't even pledge at all. See, me, that's my policy. Ever since I got to know about this pledging thing, I won't even pledge if I know that the money, I'm not gonna get the money. Anything can happen. Money devalues. See, the temptation is high. Trust me. The moment you get out of the church, say bumper. What doing that kind of so called for the car?
I said, I'm a God first.
Everything can happen. Oh, because I God first. Unfortunately, it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. And in real life, it's supposed to be God first. But you went to one twice. Like I said, let me wait there me first. Na bench kakra. Later, November. Later. You never even get it.
Yeah.
So me pledge party. I mean, don't do it. Rather, look for the money. It's kind of when it give.
Or when you know you have the money home, you rather go home and then bring it without pledging.
Yeah. So other than that, me pledges is not my thing. I wouldn't even try it at all.
Because we see in churches these days appeal for funds and I wouldn't need and I said fashion wadrum say akichia or busumi akichia bar. We hear all those things.
And how many times do they come back on the pulpit? Pledges now more kind and bring to your fan back.
Because when the secretary is all over the place, right? And I'll pledge 50 cities, who pledges and then it's like
yes, if they redeem it, they wouldn't come and stand on the pulpit and announce that please, those who have pledges come and redeem them. Then there. Wow, 1 month down the line, they are still calling for pledges. People don't honor it. So it's better not to pledge. Just give it there and then. No one at all. Me, I don't like to promise and not fulfill it. So I want to give when I have. So we say, oh Charlie, me here 200 Ghana cedis. You don't have the 200 cedis. You know you can pass with 100 Ghana cedis, and you know very well. Say, because by next week I'm normal. Give at that moment, what you think you can give out, and the person doesn't pay crampa anyhow. It's a simple trick of life. Some friends, very good friends, they'll come to you and say, oh Charlie, 500 cities. Oh, next week, no. You don't know what will happen within the next week. Anything can happen. The person might not even give you the money, get the money at that time. Oh, Charlie, we come expecting money. Meanwhile, you need the money desperately. So at that moment, if you can give, if it's asking for 500, you can give 200 or 300. And you know how.
200,
part with it. I'm just making, it's just an example. Maybe I'll pay 100 cities. Okay, let's limit it to 100 cities. Let's say, you can give 50 cities and 20 cities, and it won't worry you. So 10 years, 5 years, still I'm from by and how give that one. No matter. It's the best way to live. Trust me. Then this the hard way to help you. Let's move on to the front page again. The Finder has some other 2 stories we'd like to do before we wrap it up. So the other story says Road Safety Authority calls for trauma centers along crash-prone highways. I think many times we've had a conversation with our fire service reps. They've mentioned this thing to us that there should be some kind of very close place to the proximity areas that we know that will keep on having accidents, so that it's easy to get those people, patients or victims to those hospitals, so that they can be easily saved rather than they dying. All right. So also on the front page, the last story says civil service embraces digitalization at Dramina. Page 6 has details of that. So once again, the vice president is being lauded somehow.
Yeah, I think I have a bit of the story
he's doing pretty well with the digitalization process that is ongoing here in Ghana. So yeah, somebody saying that around this time you might not feel the effect of what he's doing, but maybe 10-5 years down the line,
I think that's true.
Begin to realize.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I think that's
what
so
he's been doing so far. So
that's
yeah,
so
let's not criticize him so much. I mean, we didn't try the income. We didn't try the buy back. Just say I can't travel a year. And then 11 or car say, oh, you won't tax now. You say taxi, you know, and then the back.
With the civil service to go digital in 2023, a bit of the story here says that the head of the civil service, Nana Kwesi Ejekum Dramina, has revealed that by January 2023, all activities of the civil service would be digitalized to improve efficiency and productivity. Nana Ejekum Dramina said the project aims to join the rest of government agencies and institutions on the ongoing digitalization drive to ensure files and records are protected, make easy retrieval of records, and improve evidence-based policy decisions. And he made this revelation at the ongoing 2022 Civil Service Week celebration launch in Accra on the theme Digitalization in the Civil Service of Ghana, an agenda for improved service delivery, and treated all chief directors, senior officers, and all civil and local government staff association, that's CLOCSA, to embrace the agenda to improve development. So by January 2023, they are going to embrace the digitalization.
My interest is more about ghost names that we keep having annually. How is the digitalization in the civil sector or civil service sector going to keep that one? That is my interest. Come on and hear me. That retrieving of information here, we know it can easily be done. But that ghost names over 7,000 every year now. We claim to expound them, yet they keep resurfacing again every year. That is my challenge. That's how you can also block those revenue leaks that we keep talking about.
Yes. It will.
Anyways.
Okay, let's get into Daily Dispatch from Benefsin and his team. The banner headline says that 4 innovations introduced by Baumia that are being successfully implemented, and pages 2 and 12 of the paper has details. Let me quickly take you through some of the innovations, the 4 innovations. The first one is the mobile money interoperability.
So when one to work,
you if you're not careful, you want to liaise it. Intro. So the mobile money payment interoperability is the service which allows direct and seamless transfer of funds from one mobile money wallet to another mobile money wallet across networks, which was developed by Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems with the active collaboration of telecommunications industry. The system was launched by Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, on May 10th, 2018, and it's aimed at eliminating the complexities and inconveniences associated with transfers across the various telecommunications networks in the country. So far we have the mobile money interoperability, and then we also have the Ghana card. The Ghana card is now a mandatory identification card for all Ghanaians. The government indicated that a Ghana card will be the required ID for all financial transactions in the country and for all SIM registrations. Currently, more than 16 million Ghanaians have so far registered for Ghana's National Identity Card. The head of corporate affairs at the National Identification Authority, Mr. Abdul Ganiyu, has said. And then we also have
mentioned that GRA has been able to register the TIN numbers, which hitherto was about 3%. Now gone up
4% to 85%.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Good. And then another innovation has to do with Ghana Pay. Ghana Pay, Vice President Dr. Baumia, June 16, 2022, launched a new platform, a payments platform known as Ghana Pay. So it's a mobile money service provided by universal banks, rural banks, and savings and loans companies to individuals and businesses to solidify Ghana's national financial inclusion agenda. And then the last one has to do with Zipline. This is the innovation medical drone delivery services operated by Zipline. Have since its introduction made over 4 million routine vaccine deliveries, fortifying Ghana's position as a country with the world's largest medical drone delivery service. So that's commendable.
And on top of that, it's going to add the e-pharmacy.
E-pharmacy.
Biometrics. Digital Baumia.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one.
Yeah, it's doing well.
10 years to come, we'll upload very well.
You done with the front page?
No, I'm not. Okay. Another story here has to do with Ghana ranked the second most peaceful country, African country, the second most peaceful African country. And then page 2 has details of that story.
We did that yesterday.
We did that yesterday. I think 2 years ago. And we will retrieve Ghana Armed Forces lands in private hands. This is from Defense Minister
Dominic Nitiwo.
We will retrieve Ghana Armed Forces lands in private hands. And the last story in the Daily Dispatch says that Kojo Opoku on impact of harsh global economic conditions on Ghanaians.
Harsh conditions in the beer room. We are all in this together. All right, so those are the dailies, the Dispatch and the Finder. Time to get into some of the portals, and we start off with the Northern reports some business story emanating that is trending since yesterday, that BOG loses $6 billion in reserves, nation's reserves now at $3 billion Finance Committee reports. So the Finance Committee decided to, before they approved the $750 billion that government needed, they said they had gone to BOG to do those investigations, and this is the report they gave. So the Bank of Ghana's foreign reserves has dwindled from $9 billion to about $3 billion. This is per a recent report by the Finance Committee of Parliament. The Finance Committee of Parliament made the disclosure and its approval of the $750 million loan facility from the Afrexim Bank, per the committee report laid before Parliament and adopted by the House. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, explained to the House that the country needed this loan amount to shore up the reserve position of the central bank, else the country risks moving into insolvency and defaulting on its international commitments. These challenges are further exacerbated by the rapidly dwindling reserves of the Bank of Ghana, which has declined from $9 billion to about $3 billion. With a monthly demand of over $600 million, the reserves of the central bank may be exhausted in a few months if urgent steps are not taken to shore up the country's reserves. The minister further indicated that there is an urgent need for the government to secure the $750 million facility to help shore up the reserve position of the Bank of Ghana to avoid the country's defaulting on its international commitments and also to avoid the country's moving into insolvency, the statement read. The committee report mentions 11 projects the loan amount will be used to finance, including the Fankor-Nsawam Road, the Suame Interchange and Local Road Network project, as well as the completion of the Flower Port Interchange, which is ongoing. The Parliament has since approved the loan agreement between the government and the Afrexim Bank. So that is the story regarding our depletion of our reserve in the BOG. Unfortunately, this is where we are. So I don't know how that $750 million will be able to support us in any way, but it's more like a drop in an ocean. See, monthly we're expending $600 million, and you're going for a loan of $750 million. So it's just for 1 month. $150 million. That's all. And then to me, anything major for subsequent month. So that loan wouldn't help us that much.
Let me quickly share something with you. It was a list of projects that they released yesterday. Okay. That has to do with how they are going to disperse. That's $750 million. I just shared that with you. Yes, it says that the Fankor-Nsawam Road will take $200 million, and then the Jisu-Konongo Road will take $75 million. Completion of Nsawam Apedro Road project will also take $10 million. Swame Interchange will take $47 million, and the completion of Flower Port Interchange, Legon area, will take $35 million, and the completion of the Sofo Line Interchange will take $35 million as well. Then construction of Kwabunya Pediasi Road projects will take $10 million. Completion of Eastern Corridor lots 5 and 6 will take $70 million. Completion of a new home Adorso Road project will take $98 million. Then the purchase of rolling stock and spare parts, $30 million, and the construction of stadium infrastructure for all African games will take $140 million.
Thanks, Kanashi. She before arrival. Charlie. And no, she said, yeah, and she said, no, we're going back to square one. Charlie, Edu. But yesterday, we didn't even talk about, we didn't add this to the story. The top 6 bribe tickets in the private sector. The one we did yesterday had to do with the public. And
even with that, Ghana Police Service was ranked first.
Yeah, number 1. And
it's been 24 hours, they haven't said anything. But for the institution ranked second,
that is
Immigration
Customs.
Service. Immigration Service.
Immigration rather, yes. Ghana Immigration Service. And they said no.
When issues like that came up, they realized it wasn't true, and even cases that they found to be true, they were able to interdict those personnel. So now they want to have hold of the full reports because they don't believe it's that true. And I was like, okay, so Ghana Immigration Service is trying to work around it to find out if this is the truth or not. But for Ghana Police Service,
and the other no, I said that
like, that silence means consent.
They've been topping the charts for so many years now. So again, now like I say, we are doing something different.
No, you see, when something, because according to Ghana, this is an alleged report.
The Ghana Police, sorry, they can't change.
So I was expecting that Ghana Immigration Service, number 2. They are saying something about you are your number 1. Why are you not saying anything?
Ghana Police is sorry, they can't change it.
I'm serious.
They are sorry, lah. Oh, please. Top 6 bribe tickets in the private sector. Let's look at that one also before we move on to other stories. So, Yeah, no teachers. I say their what? Their reward is in heaven. Also, they can't wait. I bet check. Engine is 6 hours as But on a more serious note, I think teachers are having to deal with a lot of. So I got a message. My year group, fans from year group, I got a message this morning, quite disturbing about the food shortage in the school. It's quite very disturbing that if the Old Boys Association don't do something real quick, they might end up, I don't know, some kind of quote unquote famine in the school.
Wow.
And it's very terrible.
Famine by the students?
Yeah, no food. That's what I mean. No food. No food. The food left can only take them to the end of this week, and that is it.
And they are preparing for exam. That's my worry, Diego.
Can you imagine we're told the report about over 3,000 students are on campus right now, minus the first years who are over 1,000. So the 3,000 students, even them campo, they are not can end some. It's terrible. It's terrible. So the table we have says teachers and lecturers in private schools. Private schools, 9.6%. Then we come to the doctors, nurses, midwives in private hospitals. Just say doctors and nurses, they are featuring power because the public one too, they feature. And they featured here too, 7.6%. Then we have the private security guards. Aha. Okay, so let me low tone this one. Yesterday, some private, no, not private, public, some public security man be who drew her no ajikakra, and man left. Oh, stay. And man left. Yeah, quite do be na police for ginger. Say, no. I'm bad juice. See, I'm bad juice. I say, I'm dinner. Say, look at the pot calling the kettle black. Hey, Udwa! Boss, the title I won't give you that. Hey, senior man, champion. Waba. Oh, me pack oh, me pay baby more na pack it. Obey ye bibiam or packing na his place. Even if you can't require you obey. Senior man, champion. Oh, yeah, jump, oh, yeah, gum. Oh, more baby. Oh, me bra. Yeah, more nice parking space. Oh, yeah, you know, I say, now call. Chief, you know.
The funny thing is, if they do that for like a week and you don't do what you're supposed
Friday,
to. If you are not careful, they do this for you for a week and you don't do what you're supposed to do. You come back on Monday.
Okay. Next on the list is insurance companies. It's almost so much jika. So when you accident, that's all quite a year insurance now. But you fast track that kind of thing. And then the next is other business employees, and others, a lot of people fall into that category. And then also bank employees. I'm surprised still the journalists don't feature here because I say I'm going reporting now. Solidarization. It's called solidarization.
It's called motivation.
Solidarization. Solidize. Or solid. Me ajika krane a story na ma onit. We ko china kwampo e be ma kwime ya. On that note, to say we'll lap for the top 6.
My stomach is hurting.
Sorry, I didn't do it intentionally. Okay, so the next story.
Yeah,
Generally, I'm on feature. I'm surprised. I'm on feature. Yeah, Jen. I say the engine by the solidarization or facilitation fee to facilitate your story. The facilitator man go fast. Me say me onam kwamu kwampo na okwa na your story no. Oh true. No they say afore am editor before we do okra na editor so be gene dey kakra na ja. Entertainment de kakanaja. You push story. I headline stories. Okay, maybe sounds open headline. I say open last stories. Open headline there. I say I pay no kakra.
There's a story there. Be a main bulletin. Wow.
Yes.
And yet website.
No. A bit more story. A more bulletin. No, yeah, more be at 6 o'clock news. No more early morning 6 a.m. They are a website in the account. Maybe a push kakako social media, and they are different level. So it's a kakra account. That's simple. And no.
Okay, let's get into other stories. This one says that minority files motion for vote of censure against Ken Ofori-Atta. And members of the minority in parliament have filed a motion for a vote of censure against the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, in accordance with Article 82 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. The minority motion has been signed by almost all the members of the minority caucus, making it admissible on the floor of Parliament so that it can be moved into the House. And Article 82 of the 1992 Constitution states that a Parliament may, by a resolution supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all members of Parliament, pass a vote of censure on a Minister of State. The second one says that a motion for the resolution referred to in clause 1 of this article shall not be moved in Parliament unless 7 days notice has been given of the motion. And the notice for the motion has been signed by not less than 1/3 of all members of the Parliament. Again, the motion shall be debated in Parliament within 14 days after a receipt by the Speaker of the notice for the motion. Next, the Minister of State, in respect of whom a vote of censure is debated under Clause 3 of this article, is entitled, during the debate, to be heard in his defense. Where a vote of censure is passed against a minister under this article, the President may, unless the minister resigns his office, revoke his appointment as a minister. For the avoidance of doubt, this article applies to a deputy minister as it applies to a Minister of State. According to the document signed by reports, the requirement for the motion to be signed by not less than 1/3 of all MPs in the current House before it can be moved in Parliament has been fulfilled. However, the requirement for the motion to be supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all members of Parliament in order to pass a vote of censure on a Minister of State will not be met by the minority in Parliament without the support of members from the majority side.
So out of 275, we need about 183, approximately 183.333 of the members of Parliament or members of Parliament. And now, even if all the entire NDC caucus sign, that is 137, we still need an extra.
Who is ready to betray who?
Who will build a cat? We need extra 46 members from the majority to sign, and it looks like it's dead on arrival. This may not happen at all. So
47 is too much a number.
I doubt. Okay, maybe a 1 or 2 beer. Plus ones be but well, they share some the pages of the pages where they've all been signing.
Yes.
And most of them are the NDC people who are signing the sheets and all that. So yeah, let's see how that goes as to whether it's going to happen or not. But it looks like our finance minister is not going anytime soon. He's stuck where he is. Anyway, let's move away from that and do some story about the Ghana card. And 15.7 million cards issued so far, according to NIA. The National Identification Authority, NIA, has handed over 15.7 million Ghana cards, whereas some 808,493 cards have been printed but not issued. According to the Executive Secretary of the NIA, Professor Kenneth Ajiman Atifua, 16,969,034 persons have registered for the Ghana card, but only 16,535,623 cards have been printed as of yesterday. He said there were genuine reasons why some of the cards had not been issued. There are people who have double registered. That is potentially a criminal offense, Mr. Tifua said. Those ones are being individually investigated. There are those whose cars have gone into adjudication, not because of double registration, but because they have sought to change their vital data in custody of the authorities, such as biodata. For such people, the system arrests their car application and it joins a queue. For such people, until the outstanding issues are rectified, they cannot receive their cards. So that is a story about the Ghana card issuance. Those people, if you know that you change your biodata at a point in time, and then also you did run registration here, and because you are not getting the card, you moved to, let's say, Tamale to do another one, and that means you have done double registration. You have to explain why you did that, and as it said, investigations are ongoing with that. Until they clarify things, you may not have your Ghana card. Don't forget, you need a Ghana card for Everton. Now, the Ghana card is primus inter pares, most important thing in Ghana now. I saw what kicks out. Anyway, so that's the story. I think there's another NIA story. We should do that real quick before we move on to the other portals.
Okay.
So he has been defending what our very own vice president said regarding the Ghana card and its credibility compared to 1,000 interchanges.
Okay.
So the story says Baumia's Ghana card interchanges comparison was misconstrued, according to Professor Tefua. So the story says the Executive Secretary of the National Education Authority, Ken Tefua, has jumped to the defense of the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, following the latest comparison of Ghana card and physical projects. Speaking at the launch of the two new high-level information technology programs at Accra Business School at Bachoda in Accra on Thursday, July 14, 2022, the Vice President said that he would choose the Ghana card over 1,000 interchanges as the former has a great impact. This sparked funny reactions from Ghanaians who took to social media to ridicule Dr. Bawumia. Responding to the reactions, the NIA Executive Secretary said, I think that there is a bit of misunderstanding. The Ghana card has been unappreciated. We cannot begin to quantify the level of impact the Ghana card will have on our civility. He supported a stance with more benefits of the Ghana card present to the country. By the time we have captured about 2 million people on the system, we will never have to queue to register for anything. You know, we've always been queuing for things in the years past. If the EC's plans are raised by the minority caucus or comes to fruition, we will have continuous registration just with your Ghana card. There will be no contestations about citizenship and age, which we also be having in the past. SNET will be a cleaner place. Pension payments will be sanitized. Identity conflict will be a thing of the past, he noted. So these and many more are the reasons why he thinks that Bawumia stands that the Ghana card is more important than 1,000 interchanges. It's credible.
Okay, let's get into other news. A delay in developmental projects. Ashanti Regional NPP MPs call on constituents to exercise restraint. Members of Parliament of the New Patriotic Party from the Ashanti region have urged their constituents to exercise restraint and use dialogue to resolve the issues surrounding roads and other projects that have stalled in the region. The appeal by the Ashanti MPs caucus of the NPP to their constituents is coming on the heels of last Monday's attacks on the majority leader in Parliament and MP for Swame, Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, by some of his constituents at the Swame Magazine area. Mr. Che Mensah Bonsu, who is also the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, was in his constituency to meet with his people to explain why the delay of some road projects in the area have stalled, but he was pelted with sachet water and stones for failing to fix the bad roads in the area. Addressing journalists on the unfortunate incident that occurred in Swame involving the majority leader at the Parliament House yesterday, the MP for Asante Achim Central and chair of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Kwame Enyimadu Entry, called on the people who took part in that incident to go to their leaders and apologize, quoting that, "We condemn this act and called on our constituents to exercise restraint." He called on their constituents not to use violence to resolve the issue and also stop the threatening behavior and use the right channels to address their grievances. He therefore gave the assurance that all the road projects and infrastructure for poverty eradication projects started by the NPP government would be completed to bring about confidence in the ruling government. Mr. Enimadu Entry, who is also the chairman of the caucus of the Ashanti Regional NPP MPs, said that from 1st of August to the 30th of September 2022, they will be in their various constituencies to engage with their constituents to let them know what is being done to address the stalled road projects and others in their respective areas. So all those who actually approach this with violence, you've been asked to go back to your leaders.
You think they will apologize?
They actually
you should rather be apologizing to them, telling them you are sorry for letting them demonstrate before you hack into their voice.
The constituents are saying that the contractors they brought on the road to fix the road, should they not see anything by the end of today, Friday? They'll do worse.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like they are close to apology.
So they're asking them to go apologize.
I'll apologize for after voting for you and me putting my trust in you to come and fix my mess, and then you don't do it, and then I address the issue.
And you come and tell me to come and apologize to you. You get the apology in 7 folds. Anyways, away from that, quite an interesting story that we are hearing today. I'm sure a lot of controversy arose as a result of what actually killed our former president, J.E.A. Mills. After his death, a lot of people were asking questions, what killed him? But we never got to know. The autopsy report didn't even show anything. But today, his brother, after being pushed to the wall by Kukwaido, is out talking, telling us what actually killed our former president. So the story says, Atamils had sinus infection. Brother discloses cause of death after 10 years. 2012. 10 years on July 24, President John Evans Atamils, so he'll be 10 years, the decade in the next 3 days. Today's 22nd. No, next 2 days. Yeah. 10 years on July 24, President John Evans Atamils becomes the first president to die in office. The cause of death has become a bone of contention, with a former aide of the late president suggesting that the late president's death was not natural. Kukwaido has constantly accused former President John Dramani Mahama and Samuel Atamils of knowing something that Ghanaians don't know concerning the untimely death of Atamils. In a report, Aido asked for the autopsy report of the late president from his brother Samuel Atamils. Where is the autopsy report? Sami Atamils has questions to answer, the founder and leader of the Atamils Institute said. But in response, the brother of the late president, John Evans Atamils, Samuel Atamils, said the autopsy report is personal for the family. Is he a family member? What is his business asking for an autopsy report? He further disclosed for the first time what may have caused the death of his late brother. But if you ask that question, is he a family member? What is his business asking for the autopsy report? You should have ended there by not responding and telling us what exactly happened. But he goes on to say, the MP for commended Negwa for Abrim KEA said the late president suffered a medical condition called sinus infection in 2005. He added that the medical condition kept on deteriorating the health of his brother to the extent that he had to go through chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Meaning she cramp with him, and we say, well, when you're cancer now you're chemotherapy and radiotherapy. But if you're telling us sinus, since when the sinus has to do with chemotherapy? I'm not a doctor, but at least the little knowledge I know. Maybe we should call a doctor to explain. Sinus, they say through your lungs near there, no, you're unable blockage in your lungs, no, want to be breathing well near there, and then you be having blocked nose near there. And since when did that become chemotherapy and radiotherapy become a solution to curbing sinus? Ladies and gentlemen, be the best judge. That is the end of the story. He says the sinus, according to the autopsy report, which started in 2005 and deteriorated all the way to 2012, that we lost him. And he was going for chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So at least, need Dr. Krampua Google chemotherapy, radiotherapy, what it does. And then sinus disease, something like that. You get to know the difference and maybe the similarities there is. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so elsewhere in the northern region, confusion at Bibiani, a little misunderstanding. This is from the Western North Minister. And the Western North Minister, Richard Obeng, has watered down the violence recorded during the Bibiani demonstration that left 6 persons with gunshot wounds, quoting that it was just a little misunderstanding between the youth group and traditional authority. From the assessment of the situation we have done so far, it is some miscreants who wanted to take advantage of that situation. The demonstration on Wednesday was against Ojiahuhu Yao JB II, chief of Seshiyan Hiaso, who was performing some rites at a mining firm. Police have said detentions are suspected to have stemmed from a chieftaincy dispute. The confusion led to some people sustaining wounds and bruises from machetes and stones, in addition to the gunshots from locally manufactured weapons. The minister commended the police for their intervention on the day, saying that they acted with wisdom and tact. Quoting again that the timely intervention of the police force did not give them the freedom to cause the kind of mayhem I suppose they had anticipated. And this is from Mr. Obeng, who is the Western North Minister, as regards to the confusion at BBN, saying that it is, or it was, a little misunderstanding between the youth group.
Yeah, that is my hometown, by the way. So, good morning to Ojavo, our chief. Anyways, still talking about misunderstanding, it looks like other regions are also having their fair share of it. So Karachi West residents protest erratic power supply from NETCO. And the story says, residents and business owners in the Karachi West municipality of the Oti region have marched in protest of the unstable power supply provided by the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, that is NETCO. They have complained that the power situation is having a negative impact on their businesses and livelihoods. Residents carried home appliances, tools to work on their heads, whilst others had placards with inscriptions such as "Dumsop must stop now" and "Karachi needs a substation." According to them, daily business activities have stalled as a result of the frequent power outages. Presenting a petition to the municipal chief executive of the area, chairman of the Karachi Youth Association, Ben McCarthy Intoso, called on the MCE to ensure that there is a stable electricity in the area. According to him, residents have to endure the pain of sleeping in the dark each day, and efforts by community leaders to address the issue have yielded no results. So that is a reason for their embarking on the demonstration, hoping NETCO will hit to them, or they will get their own substation in Karachi West. All right, so that's the story.
Okay, away from that to the Western region, where it looks like most of the residents have come to realize the language of
demonstration and strike.
Yes, and this one says that taxi drivers in Western region declare strike over poor roads. Taxi drivers at Asankragwa, Manso, Mansoa, Menfi, right, Bogoso, and Wasai Kupon municipality of the Western region have declared a 3-day sit-down strike. The drivers disclosed that they have declared a strike action over bad road networks in the area, and according to them, the poor nature of the roads is affecting their activities. Noted that they are forced to use their sails to repair damaged vehicles, and that is creating serious challenges for them. The strike is to help drum home their demand for better roads in the affected communities. A spokesperson for the group of drivers, Mr. Akwa, said that several efforts to get authorities to address the issue have proved futile. He said, quoting, "We are spending ourselves in regarding our damaged vehicles. The roads are bad, and as drivers, we can no longer entertain the situation. We are currently on strike. The strike will last till Saturday. We want the poor roads fixed. We deserve better roads in the affected communities." He warned that they would have no option but to increase fares if the concerns are not addressed by Sunday, the 24th of July. Meanwhile, several persons were left stranded due to the action strike by the drivers. So that's it with taxi drivers in the Western region.
But those who get to suffer more is come on, man. The government doesn't even feel the effects of this one, unfortunately. They stuck and they don't go to work. You won't get a taxi to go to work.
And even the taxi drivers themselves, if they are not careful,
Very unfortunate. Well, from Western region, let's keep in the Western region, but this time Western North. A very unfortunate situation happening over there. Joaboso, suspected robber burnt to death in front of police station. Like, upon all the places, right in front of the police station. So the question is, what were the police station, the police people there doing? they didn't have enough ammo to prevent them, or I mean, urban crowd control, they will get the cannons and the water, and then the rubber bullets and the tear gas and all this to disperse the crowd. Somebody's being bent live in front of your police station and you're unable to do anything. Wow. The story says a man alleged to be a member of a suspected syndicate behind robberies in the Jaboso in the Jenin district in the western north region has been burnt to ashes in front of the police station by some angry youth. 3 members of the said syndicate were apprehended by the youth. However, one managed to escape while the police managed to rescue the 3rd suspect before they could lynch him. The angry youth descended heavily on the police and threw stones at them and damaged their vehicles when the law enforcers attempted to rescue the suspect. Eyewitnesses said the suspected robber was exposed after he was seen holding half a dozen mobile phones while trying to board a vehicle at the main Bonsu Nkwanta lorry station in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. When the alleged robber was confronted by some youth and asked to unlock the phones, he was unable to do so. The youth then removed a SIM from one of the phones and placed it in a new mobile device and attempted to make a mobile money transaction. In the process, the name of the popular member of the community who was recently robbed popped up. That's quite smart of them. The youth then marched the suspect to the house of the one whose name appeared, and upon reaching the house, he narrated the circumstance of how he lost his phone. Sensing danger, the suspect then confessed of being a member of the robbery syndicate and led his apprehenders to the house where he remained members of the gang were. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, they took the man to the police station where they set fire on him. We've all been talking about instant justice, mob action, and lynching and all those things. Once upon a time, one soldier man, Major Mahama, similar thing happened to him, and we've been talking about it, that it's not the best. It's no matter how guilty the person is, it's supposed to be taken to the law of competent jurisdiction and be declared as such that he's guilty. Until then, you have no power or authority to kill anybody or to maim anybody because he's at fault, or he's stolen something or robbed you of something. And this is wrong, totally wrong, and nowhere else but the front of the police station. That is where my concern is is. Like, the police there couldn't even do anything about it. I heard they pelted them with stones and all that. They prevented them. They killed. They damaged their vehicles and all. But they could have done something about it. This is where you fire proper warning shots into the air, not into the crowd. If it's becoming serious, or I don't know whether they are ill-equipped at where they are at Jaboso. I don't know. Maybe the police will come and explain to us what exactly was the reason why they couldn't prevent the burning of the person right in front of their office. This is really uncalled for.
Let's get into another chilling story here. It says that 23-year-old student allegedly shot dead in his car. The 23-year-old student, identified as Kwabena Asumedu, has been shot dead by an unknown gunman in Kumasi in the evening of Tuesday, July 19, 2022. Kwabena Asumedu is said to have been shot multiple times by the assailants through the driver's side after dropping off his friend at Sofa Line around 11 p.m. The deceased, who was driving an unregistered Mercedes-Benz, had his items intact after the incident. So it looks like it wasn't a theft case or something. Was nothing.
So they stole nothing from the vehicle. They just shot the guy. So
friends,
like, I don't know whether it's a plan killing sort of.
Friends of the deceased who stormed the district police commander are yet to come to terms with the passing of the young man, quoting that Kwabena was a calm and reliable friend. He didn't have qualms with anyone because he's someone who immediately apologizes to people he offends. We just can't understand why someone would do something like this to him. We have pain, but God knows best. And this is from a friend of the deceased, and here's Adai Derek. The police have since commenced an investigation into the incident, even though no arrests has so far been made. And the body of Kwabena has been deposited at the Konfran Nochi Teaching Hospital morgue for autopsy.
Sounds more like a contract killing.
Yeah.
So, remember the lawyer who was killed at Bole?
Yeah.
They came to the bars and they were asked, who is Richard? He said, I'm Richard, Papa. They gave it to him and then they left. And the same thing has happened to this young man. But 23-year-old driving
a Mercedes
unregistered. I don't know how rich his family is, but it's beginning to look quite ugly. But some people are suggesting that whoever he dropped off and some of his friends need to be investigated. They should be arrested right now and then investigated because they might have a reason to how it happened. Because I watched the news and where the reporter was standing was a main road, like overpass or something like that. Yeah. And how the people got to know that he'll be there at that time, dropping off somebody, and then papa. So where's the other guy that he dropped off, or the lady that he dropped off? If it's a guy or a lady, whoever, or the person left crying, he was still sitting in his car waiting. It doesn't add up. So because if I'm dropping you, I park and then you get off. It takes some few minutes or seconds for you to leave, and then I'll move away.
And even if I dropped, looking at where the reporter was standing, because I also was able to watch that. The friend who was dropped off, should that the shooting happen at that instant, I'm sure you would have heard something.
Exactly, you might have heard something then. Exactly,
because you'll not be far
from.
A
lot of inaccuracies in the story being told, but I'm sure there will be some investigations for us to find out exactly what happened to the 23-year-old. This is really unfortunate. 23 years old, I'm thinking if he's in school, probably be in uni or just graduated or something, or be in final year. Anyways, condolences to his family. And let's move away from that to another crime-related story that we got this morning. It has to do with Yoko arresting a Nigerian for allegedly defrauding a Ukrainian businessman. When I saw the story, I heaved a sigh because Russia and Gabia Putin a fly some missile be Nigeria. Maybe be a kind. But Ukraine, Zelensky is that calm, so he will not bother that much because he has a lot in his hands. A Nigerian criminal syndicate led by one Sani Awamini, aka Sam, has been arrested by the Economic and Organized Crime Yoko for defrauding a Ukrainian businessman to the tune of $6.5 million. That's a chunk of money. The suspect, Sunny, 52, was apprehended on Wednesday, July 20, by Yoko in an intelligence-led operation in partnership with the State National Security. According to deep throat sources at Yoko, the suspect met his victim, Mazen Farak, in December 2018 in Ghana, during which the latter expressed interest in purchasing expensive wood prizes known as teak. Sam, after receiving the sum of $6.5 million from Ukrainian businessman, sent photographs of fake pellets of teak stored in custom-bonded warehouses and promised to get the goods delivered to Ukraine. However, Mazen Farak, in his statement to Yoko, disclosed that Sunny, for over 3 years, failed to deliver containers of the product and stated in the agreement. On March 27, 2022, Sunny was arrested by police personnel from the police headquarters in Accra, but was later released after a brief detention in custody, which the complaint, that is Mazen Farak, described as being done under the very compromising circumstances. But the Ukrainian businessman magnate and his Ghanaian partners are also worried about the justice delivery in the country, as they claim that some officers are exerting pressure and sleeping for the release, or seeking rather, I think they want to say, seeking for the release of Sunny again. Meanwhile, Mazen Farak wants to recover his $6.5 million from the Nigerian criminal syndicate and is therefore appealing to the powers that there be to ensure that Sunny Amwanini is made to face the full rigors of the law. The Ukrainian businessman is currently in the country to ensure that Sunny is brought to account to face the full rigors of the law. So that is it. I don't know how come he decided to relocate to Ghana here and come and bother us, and our security system now having to leave other important things to focus on him. They should take him to Nigeria and then deal with the case there. We have too many cases on our hands to deal with, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, so do you have any other story?
Yeah, I think the very last story that has to do with Ghana Standards Authority telling Ghanaians that we are handling X wrongly. We are handling X wrongly.
Yeah, just say you did some wrong X, Biana.
It says the conventional ways of handling eggs, including the sale of broken eggs for consumption, have been identified as posing public health risks. According to the Ghana Standards Authority and the Ghana National Eggs Campaign Secretariat, the way eggs are handled on the market is below standard. Representatives of the two organizations said this at a workshop held in Kumasi yesterday, Thursday. Players in the egg production and marketing industry are therefore entreated to comply with the standards to ease exports of the commodity to neighboring countries. The two-day workshop was attended by over 150 poultry farmers and eggs vendors in the Ashanti region. The workshop, organized by the Ghana National Eggs Campaign Secretariat in collaboration with the Ghana Standards Authority, educated participants on international standards of handling eggs. Speaking on the general requirements of eggs, Samuel Kwetia of the Ghana Standards Authority indicated that vendors and buyers must access the weights, color and neatness of the eggs, quoting that you don't produce the eggs but you have control over the final product. Some characteristics you have to check out include the discoloration, the brokenness. Whenever you buy an egg, we advise that the crates should not be returned to the farmer. This helps to reduce the microbial circulation in the egg industry.
So the crates, you don't return it because.
And I even heard that the crates breeds cockroaches when you still keep them in your kitchen cabinets and all of that. Maybe you just have to discard that.
Then you have to look for the discoloration of the eggs and all those things.
Even if it's broken.
Every egg be good. The egg there for no dosage 2 times.
Because when there are cracks, you don't know what can get in. You also equally crack it, then you fry or you boil or something. That's bad.
Kudos to Ghana Standards Authority. It looks like their enforcement is becoming quite credible. Since they've been given authorization to now standardize everything here in Ghana, it's like they started a good work. So kudos to them. And here also they're going to set up some research centers across the country and all 16 regions, and also to aid in the standardization of the products that we churn out here in Ghana, and even those that we export also. So that's quite an interesting thing that we are getting this morning. So yeah, I think we're done, but I think we have one final birthday shout out.
Yes. A final birthday shout out, and this is from Bridget's Yaira Donyo Akolache to her elder sister Bernice Akofa Avenue. Blessed birthday to you, Bernice. I never had a chance to meet you, but I can meet you some other time. Bernice Akofa Avenue. Blessed birthday to you. You look so beautiful on your wedding day. Bernice Akofa Avenue, blessed birthday to you. Enjoy your day and keep that smile for us. And we wish you many, many years with beautiful memories, with beautiful children, with more wealth and good health, long life, and beautiful marriage life. Yes, especially today we're going to talk about marriage. We wish you all the best in your marriage days. So a blessed birthday to you, Mrs. Bernice Akofa Avenue. Yes, blessed birthday.
Okay, so that said, it's a wrap for Masters Horizon. I trust you enjoyed all the stories we brought you. In case you have any ideas or thoughts and comments about everything else we discussed, you can do well by sharing your thoughts and comments with us on our WhatsApp line, which is on your screen right now. Alternatively, you can join us on YouTube. It is Hstv Live. You can also subscribe and also click on the notification bell so that you get a notification of the shows that we have here on this platform. All right, so don't forget the show is brought to you by Kankesi Prudential Life Insurance. Always listening, always understanding. We're going to take a quick turn. When we come back, the goddess of sports, Precious Azuma, will be ready to take us through the world of sports. Kudos to Evelyn Badu for winning those awards, CAF Maiden Woman Award yesterday. So I'm sure she has more details to share with you when she comes on. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Shadi, you didn't put the picture.
I was expecting the picture better.
My name is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Côte d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only two privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Just like that, Leicester City pounce, and Leicester City will take all 3 points away from Bramall Lane.
Well, we're very much enjoying watching it. Thank you for your time. Congratulations, you're the man of the match.
Thank you. Come on! The first Champions League semi-final. A first for that one.
It's Precious Azuma. It's time for sports in minutes, and starting off with some stories that is going about now. Domestic front, Senegal star forward Sadio Mane has been named Africa's Men's Player of the Year at the CAF Awards 2022 after leading the Teranga Lions to its maiden Africa Cup of Nations title, while Nigeria's Asisat Oshoala set a new record when she walked away with her 5th Women's Player of the Year award. It was a highly successful night for Senegal, who were also named National Team of the Year, while their coach Aliou Cisse was also named Africa's Coach of the Year at a glittering function in the Moroccan capital of Rabat. And also, the Black Stars of Ghana will play a four-nation tournament next month in Austria. The tournament, according to reports, will be held at the Ernst Happel Stadion in Austria. World Cup host Qatar, North Africans Morocco, and the Reggae Boys of Jamaica will participate in the preparatory games next month. The Black Stars will engage Jamaica first before playing Qatar and Morocco. The games will serve as a preparations ahead of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, with September's AFCON qualifiers expected to be postponed. Proceeding to other stories, league champions, let's not forget that Kumasi Asante Kotoko will face rivals Accra Hearts of Oak in the Champion of Champions on Sunday, September 4th, 2022 at the Babayara Sports Stadium. The Porcupine Warriors, who won the 2021 Ghana Premier League, will aim for the bragging rights against arch rivals and record FA Cup holders Accra Hearts of Oak in the battle of supremacy in Kumasi. The champion of champions in the traditional curtain raiser for the 2022 Ghana Premier League season, which is set to kick off on the weekend of 9 to 12 September 2022. Now let's do some Women's League, and Black Princesses captain Evelyn Bedu has been crowned Young Player of the Year and Interclub Player of the Year at the 2022 CAF Awards in Rabat, Morocco. The 19-year-old, who was named the player of the tournament during the 2021 CAF Women's Champions League and also won the Golden Boots saw-off competition from teammates Doris Bouadoua and Moroccan Yasmin to win the award for Young Player of the Year. Bedu also was nominated for the Interclub Player of the Year and won the award ahead of Dlamini and Baba Mani, both of Mamelodi Sundowns. Now let's do some European stories, and Germany booked their place in the semi-finals of the European Women's Championship with victory over Austria at Brentford Community Stadium. It was a tighter game than many would have expected as Germany faced their biggest test yet in their pursuit of a record-extending 9th European title. Also, former Manchester United attacking midfielder Jesse Lingard has completed a move to Nottingham Forest on a free transfer. The 29-year-old has become Forest's 11th summer signing after they won promotion to the English Premier League. And that'll be all on Sports a Minute today, live on Hstv. My name is Precious Azuma. Healthy Morning still continues.
Is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Côte d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only two privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for you. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
Awusia bedawase se okasa mfonyine egusua eda Hstv ebia na wadamfo bi onua bi ananse busuani bi abo amane se na nsen enya de onya Hstv o ne kasa mfonyine eso obu ono mu a onya mfonyine eba nanso kasa bi a emma obu ono so ono ne de na tekokra animu aye kusukusu bese otin kai boy na ebo na mane emaye se we Hstv no atekwa yebese se obesa scan u TV no foforo ananso obesa scan u decoder no foforo eni be mu akwanya ama won sasa ka Hstv bio de ndwumadi ahodo na won so wanya akwanya atumi ahwe bi etie bia na onua bi pese o sasa scan TV no foforo a yebese se obeya aso na watie kwan a obefa so obesa scan TV no ananso decoder no efoforo yedi nkan so pese o scan TV no foforo a obefa remote na what remote no so wamia menu e remote no so e di amaye atwode bebre e na beba okasa mfonyi no eso hwehwe bia ya tro se channels e maye ne mia okay e remote no eso e di atwre foforo e besa ba o kasa mfonyi no eso ahwehwe bia ya tro se auto scan ne mia okay wo remote no so e maye we be scan ni stations ahodo e wo kasa mfonyi no so e di amount ejina u TV no so ebitimi di sima be aduonu eko aduasa eso stations ahodo e ba kasa mfonyi no eso bomodi a na hwe Hstv onsa be kan na hwe ahwe edwumadi ahodo a akanina ebia na wo de no enye TV na emom odi coda e na apese osaskan no fofo ntitiw eni omom use Go TV obomodi afa remote no na wamia menu e remote no so e di amame atwode bebre ebe ba okasa mfoni no anim wadaroma hwehwe bia atro se advanced option nimi a okay e remote ne so emame edi atwode foforo ebe ba okasa mfoni no anim hwehwe bia ya atro se installation nimi a okay e remote ne so emame edi atwode foforo ebe san aba hwehwe bia ya atro se auto scan nimi a okay e remote ne so emame we be ma wonsa kan eye kasa mfoni na se stations ahodo a ewo omaimu enina bomodi na hwe Hstv ne nya okay ewo so we be mu akonya asamu abeka Hstv ebusu akese eho ne dwumadi ye nina onso wanya bi ahwe bonua bi ani Hstv article amane won fasa akwanye so na ne sabesan akan edo aseso age bre ne wati yen ne wahwe yen so.
This is Hstv, grateful for your time. Training, training, training. Are you creative? Are you willing to learn? Are you interested in the media? Well, Hstv has an opportunity for you. Get training in camera handling, video editing, motion graphics, program presenting, MCR, sound engineering, news reporting, and casting.
In Accra to speak to some commercial drivers.
Why don't you call these numbers 054 68 33724 or 0240 300 507.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Quick darling too. So mama usani panya sama panya me. Tom panya yeah.
When you hear motivation, you should know it's just scratch on the beat.
Yeah, impempia kan wadon wasem de training pants ni pa fom ni pa de ho abofuo be kum ni pa ti a chiro se bunipa ni a chiro se shro ni pa ubu ni pa shro ni pa fi se de obetan wo ye ni pa nyame fa ni pa so buo ni pa so wona ni pa buo ni pa wo cheri asef na de wode a cha okokom ni na da wo che so do ni pa wa koma pa na so ni pa wasem no be kan ye ya na won kan no kwenyi na waso wada bi dai na ni akata so wonda ya boafo do so boafo isi na ni panin kai ti do be boa wo maye we say yesu na we dua ni je wo ni pam kai se ni pa na yi yesu mai hey ni pa ne ba wo ni pa so di be ye be se ni pa ni pa ni madum ti ni pa se ni pa di tre ni pa enya kra wo de no no di enso su se ni pa e ya na ye refi se ni pa wo ni pa ni se ni pa na me na bo ni pa no de fa ni pa so ni pa nyanso ni pa na so mi na so Pisano ya katra mi se ni pa trimusu pa me nya sho se ha dan for panisu wanye na wanye nyeni pa kamte wa kwande na me fem se ne na ya ka wanye na wanye nyeni pa kamte wa kwande na me fem se ne na ya ka wanye onyankopon ne boni pa onu hu so boni pa o mani pa no yen ina de so ne hwe so ye nipa nipa hwiase ira ne kwan bada ne abu nipa nipa mu nipa de ntumi no ne hu nipa pese me kumnya ne na titwa ne ho na mpa ne nya twon kwa kete se ne mam ya da ne nipa fa pem sa ne nipa te ana onyankopon ne boy sa manjata etia kese se ofa mary adoa nipa hu no da nipa nya tia onu ada ne nya me na ne honhom ne nya ne a otimidi ne honam so nya tinkama ne nua afenu ada ne nipa fisto do ne ye nipa so mama usani panya sama panya panya yeah quick darling horiba upon on sianso all down friend yeah oh big try me diana kuma searching for you on no man's land. Other country I will bet I'm a dog, man, yeah. Cause I've been waiting for you, all the teaming to me now. All the year we bet I'm a fool, I got TB. So let me pay your price, now me share with Kawan. At the other year we bet I'm not here. Baby, I will. At the other year we bet I'm not here. Baby, I will.
say, Ombra, Fisa, Wonkwa, what up, my so bad, I don't dream. Oh, Bibo, me say, what up, Banama, Fakatia, I don't dream. Oh, Bibo, me say, what up, Banama, Fakatia, what up, some. Cause I've been waiting for you, all the team into me now. All the you, Banama, phone, I got TB. So let me pay your price, now me show Kawan at the other you, Banana, baby. I said, all the you, Banana, baby. I said, me off of Banana, baby. I said, all the you, Banana, baby. So now, I'm a shadow. Makume would all your time into me, talk today. Fall for you, my lady, my baby, saw you. Yeah, no jokes, no kidding. Girl, it's you I'm feeling. Mad for your love, from one week to a soul. I said, I don't hear about it. I said, I'm it off for some about it. I said, I don't hear about it.
Good Darlington, he calls that one Baby, and before that he had the latest one he did with Acham Kwame and from here as well. Well, welcome back. It's still Healthy Morning Live on Hstv. It's time for us to get into the conversation for the Friday. You know, now every Friday we have a kind of omnibus conversation. We discuss social issues essentially, and just gone by was Sports in Minute with the goddess of sports, Precious Azuma. Today we're talking about something very critical. The institution where one enters before he's given a certificate. He or she is given a certificate before they even start the entire journey. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about marriage. So if you've been paying attention, the chronology of the story that we've been telling so far, we looked at telltales of love. Then we ventured into activities of dating and courtship. So after these things, the next thing is obviously marriage. To help us do that, we have a very prolific preacher and a man of God, the head pastor of Life Ahead Visions Ministries in the person of Reverend David Kofi Uwaku, my namesake. Welcome to the studios.
Thank you, Kofi.
All right, so we're going to have a very interesting conversation talking about marriage. I'm sure you have years of experience in that space, so you also kindly share with us. But we have our first question from my lady here.
Okay.
Yeah, Rev, the thing is about biblically, when you look into the Bible, it talks about how a man is going to leave his home, leave his family, and then a woman also going to do the same, and then becoming one. And when you look at marriage, it's still the two people, the man and the woman. So when the Bible talks about the two becoming one, what exactly is it talking about?
Okay, that's a good question. We thank God for a day like this, an opportunity to share about marriage, an institution which was ordained by God. From biblical point, since you are starting from there, marriage can be done in several ways, but it is established from a Christian perspective that marriage is ordained by God. It's an institution ordained by God, because by creation God created man and later
a woman.
He said it's not good for the man to be alone. He brought another person, put them together. And your question is, if God is saying the two shall become one, what does it mean? Because you see two different people sitting or talking at the same time. Yes, practically what God is saying, God is not talking about biologically merging two personality together as one body, you two people. However, for me, even with a bit of further studies, that translation biologically you could even see that when children are produced, critically analyzing personalities, you can see your father, maybe even in your face. Portion of your face is your father, the other side is your mother. They are all part of the two persons or two individuals coming together. So without that meeting of your father and mother, that human being will not be produced, and that personality is produced, and you can clearly see two people in one person. It's something God is telling us, and before even that, God is talking about two individual minds coming together for one decision making. So if two people are coming together, that is why you are leaving your home does not just mean the physical structure. Leaving your comfort zone, leaving who you think you are. Sometimes to have a successful marriage, you must leave your comfort home. Your comfort zone. What you think you are. Your priorities must be compromised in order to accommodate your partner's priorities or wishes or whatever you call it. Bringing these two minds together to make one decision. So either you might be living in the village, but you decided we are now coming to stay in Accra. If it were you alone, you would have been in your village. She would have also been somewhere. But the two of you decided we are living there to come and stay in one place. So the oneness of the new personality comes in several ways.
Okay.
I don't know if I help you a bit.
How does that come together and work as a whole? Because it's two different people coming together. We are two different people from two different homes, two different upbringings, different cultures. How I grew up was way different from how he grew up. So how do I allow my interests to align with this? Who is living who's for who? Do I let go of my ideologies, my principles, just because I want to be with him? And is he supposed to do the same just because he wants to be with him? Who is compromising for who?
Everybody is compromising. Everybody is compromising something for the new person, for the new personality. Life is about decision making. You understand? If I decide to become a banker now, that is my decision. Let me take it like that. So I will undergo training, try to seek employment in a bank and whatever. I will marry now. My wife's thinking about my life or our new life is that I don't want you to be a banker. Let's go into farming. You understand? Even though farming is not what I choose to do, she may also be a nurse before coming. But by decision, the two of us agree now that stop your nursing, let me stop my banking, let's go into farming.
Is this decision are we supposed to make this decision after we get married or before we get married?
No, the decision making is continuous. It is not just one decision. I told you life is about decision making. To be a successful person in life, you continue making several decisions every time, every day, and decisions may come from various angles. Your ability to make good and cogent decisions at every time makes you more successful than somebody. You understand? So the two individual lives you are talking about coming together, it is the decisions that they make with united mind that show this new personality you are talking about. This may not be a physical body you see apart from the children like I demonstrated to you, but decisions producing results will tell you that there are some people behind this decision, and these people or this personality behind this decision is the new person where the two people coming together we are talking about.
Hence, they say two heads are better than one.
Two good heads.
Two good heads. Yes. Even the good cry is relative, so you don't know which one is good.
Depending on what.
Rev, in our conversation prior to even getting married, you mentioned, based on this question that she asked you, you mentioned that you should be taking decisions. And in courtship also and dating, there's a need for you to do some questioning and answers to understand. Before you decide to boldly take that giant step into the marriage, can you take us through some few things you should itemize, like of priority, that one should ask themselves, either the man or the woman, before they even decide to take it to the altar.
Good. Okay, so marriage. Let me put it in context. At least marriage definition of marriage, in my opinion, is two individuals coming together for a common purpose of living together or making a life. So simple as that. But this must be done in a framework of either traditional culture or the legal environment or the social setting that you found yourself. Any of these structures can produce marriage. In the legal sense, for example, in Ghana, you are allowed to marry from age 18. And if you are 18 and below 20, you need to sort a consent of your parents or guardian to be able to marry. Beyond 20, the law allows you, even without consent, you can go ahead, two of you meeting anywhere, you can just go to court and sign, and it is considered as marriage. Traditionally, before you marry, you consult two families, and there are things that will go on, and necessary bridal price is paid. So after those payments, you are considered as married people. But even before all this, and we have the Christian side of it too. As for Christians, we also believe whether you pay bridal part or whatever, you must still bring it to the church for us to bless or to commission it by the word of God. So all these environments are there, but definitely the two of you meet somewhere before even coming together. You want to know things that the individual needs to consider. My opinion, or with experience, with what I have learned over the years, when I was going to marry, I asked a lot of questions. I was quite new. For example, around 27 years, I've never dated anybody. So you can imagine somebody like this saying you are going to marry. I have no idea what it is, but one good thing I have is I pray a lot, and I always make my decision based on what I am convinced I am directed by God to do right from my childhood. So it wasn't too difficult for me to accept my wife as what or who God wants me to marry, because from the spiritual background I am convinced, even though it may look odd to many people, because when you look at the two of us,
it's a bit of a mismatch.
It's like a mismatch, but I believe it's the best thing that has happened to me as far as marriage is concerned. So I asked a lot of questions, and I am quite critical and ask a lot of questions. So I studied my wife, and I put number of tests to her from my side to see. There was one thing I was critically watching. I am a bit quiet. She's extrovert, and one major thing is very quick-tempered and just go straight. Whatever she wants to say, she tells you. So, for example, this is direct conflict to who I am. So anybody will analyze it as a mismatch at that point, because we are not at the same level. So I said several. So the last test was that I told her, I'm giving you 1 month. If within this 1 month, you didn't get angry, you didn't show any sign of that thing, then you have passed your test. Wow. We can go ahead.
Was she in the know of all these tests you're putting out to her?
Yes, this last one is a common.
She was aware.
Yeah, she was aware. We discussed it because severally, I'll tell you, this is what I don't like about you.
Because I've heard in other quarters, it's wrong to also put women to test or a man to test before you marry them, because you probably want to, and there's a word, like catch them doing something that is wrong to stand on and say no.
No, I don't believe in that. You should
So
be
in your
very
case, for
open
instance,
and transparent to one another.
Okay.
I'll tell you have to be honest to yourself. If you don't tell your fiancé what you are doing, I don't like it, and you are hiding behind as if you are the school headmaster, monitoring, examining.
But should you not tell her? Don't you fear that she may fake that?
Yeah, so this is what I'm telling you, that severally I tell her she will try her best, but she can pass.
Yeah.
So this one, it was clear.
Okay.
So you can see that, like you are saying, she did her best, try to control herself throughout the month. But the last minute, she
gave it up.
She flared up and totally out of gear.
But
couldn't you have decided that, okay, then this is it?
This is what I want to tell you.
Okay.
So at this point, I got to know that is the person. This is the person. She cannot fake her life. There are character, what is called character. You can't fake it. You can pretend for a while, but the reality will by all means show. This is what I tell people when I'm counseling them. I tell them, you see, when you are courting, somebody will say that you are in a campaign period, so you can do anything to win the election. People will convert, they will become prophets, they will become honest, they will go to because the woman says, if you don't become a Christian, I will marry you.
So you start going to church.
So you come to church, dress nice,
become a prayer warrior.
Prayer warrior, choir and everything. Go ahead and finish the marriage.
It goes back to the same person you was.
Because all those times, you can fake anything within a year, 2 years. People can do anything. So it is important to look at the reality of the person. You see, like I cited about my wife, she cannot control herself. That is the person. So at that point, I know this is the person, and
so
I have to
manage
prepare that I can manage that.
When you say this is the person,
choosing a necessary evil.
I want to understand because I'm thinking that most women react based on actions from men. So don't you think she getting angry is maybe because something because she won't be sitting there.
No, the anger is not about me personally.
Maybe
about anybody.
Touching her nerves or something.
Yeah, not necessarily. It wasn't even about him.
You, but maybe other
people. Yes, other people.
Because I don't think someone will wake up in the morning and is angry. You get it?
No.
Maybe it's because of something someone is.
For example, maybe what you are saying, what will make her angry? Me, I'll see it and smile and walk away. Do you understand? What will make somebody angry? You will see it and smile and walk away. This is nothing, or this is an issue that you can just walk. But she cannot stand it. So you should know this is the person. Can you live with this person for the rest of your life?
Rev, I'm trying to make it as a point. One of the major points and things you should look out for. So this one is more about looking for the character of the person.
The character of the person is
a key thing to look out for.
It's a key thing because character doesn't easily change. Character, what is called character, it cannot easily change. You can fake it, you can pretend, you can be whatever. But if you don't study and know the person's character, you may be misled. A lot of problem in marriages is as a result of people don't look at for character. We tend to, especially in a newer, let me put it this way, dispensations, we have different concept about marriage relationship. First, people begin to talk about love. Meanwhile, what you are calling love, in quote, is vague. I don't know what is called love, honestly speaking to you. Because I always teach in my church, and I tell my members or wherever I teach, is that if you are talking about love, if you say you love me, don't love me when I do good for you. Because it's obvious, if I bought a brand new phone and give it to you, at that point you can only express appreciation and a sense of humor to prove that I care or I show something. But when you love me, it is when I am wrong, I am down, I am bad, and you demonstrate that sense of sacrifice to prove to me that even in that state, I am there for you.
Yeah. That is your definition of love.
That is my definition of love. But is that what we look for when we are going into marriage? If you don't look for something like that and appreciate that love is shown when your partner is weak or have demonstrated a weak point, and then you realize, no, like I'm saying, my wife, this is the person. And I hold it against her. Do you understand? And I hold it. Why are you angry? I said, don't be angry. And you got angry again. So we will not marry. I'm not showing love. I should be there to when she is weak, when she is down. That is not a guarantee that you should be doing everything and say this is my weakness and whatever. No, that is not a guarantee. But I'm telling you that because I made it clear earlier that we must be ready to compromise with our priorities or who we are in order to come to a decision point. So marriage is always meeting at a point.
Well, on the flip side of this, so you mentioned the part where when the person is down, you're able to be there for the person. That is your definition of love, and that's how it should be. So let me give you a scenario. Let's say in the line of courtship. Sure. By the way, how long would you advise for courtship? By the way,
I don't prescribe a long courtship. No, it shouldn't be more than a year.
More than a year. Yeah, fair enough. All right. So within the year, let's say this lady, let's say, gets an accident that I want to date. She gets an accident, and at that very difficult moment, she's in the hospital. I'm always there by her side, and I practically do everything for her. Good. Around that time, she begins to fall in love with me more because of what I'm doing.
Yes.
Fast forward, we agree after she's out of the hospital to take the next step to marriage, and then we get into marriage. And due to circumstances maybe beyond my control, force majeure, natural disasters or something like that happens, and I'm unable to support her as much as I did when she was down. Is it not when the issues start cropping up, beginning to seem as if I faked who I was because I wanted to marry her? People do things like that just because they want to get attention of one man or a woman so that they could fall for them for marriage.
So fine, you hold a point. You you behave like a typical economist. When the issue cannot be solved, you say ought to be equal, or something happened that is beyond your control. Yeah, but like we are saying in life, nobody, you can never enter my mind to see what is there. You can only learn to accept a situation or a condition at any time, depending on your capacity to move to the next level. If you don't have that capacity, like you are rightly saying, this is somebody in the hospital down, and as at that time, you have a capacity, you were there, you did everything. But another point, you don't have the capacity to continue or to do certain things, and she is analyzing it as if you are faking or you were just doing those things for whatever. That is where the problem is. We should all have open mind. Two marital people or two married men. I am growing up to learn something which I know is difficult for many people to understand. I kept telling people that if you learn not to think for people, in our daily life, we largely think for people. Before you ask a question, you know the answer. You assume the answer I'll give already. So even if I'm telling you the truth, you say, oh, I know you already, this already. But sometimes, or most times, the reality may be different. So people must learn to be themselves, must learn to accept situations and deal with the situations for a positive answers than just assuming this is what it is. Are you getting me? Yeah. So for that lady to be thinking at a point in time, oh, it's a fake, she just wants to win me or whatever. It's wrong for her to think like that. She should do further to be sure that you are faking it.
What further should she do to be sure?
No, because the example you gave, you say why she was in the house, you have capacity and you have taken good care of her. But why she was at a point, you did not have the capacity. Is that not what you told me? Yes. So things you were not able to demonstrate what you've been doing at a point. So she was thinking you were just faking that you love her. And I'm saying that she should rather try to find out what exactly is happening as at that time that you were not able to help or continuously. But just to think that, oh, you were faking, it's wrong. Do you get it?
There's this perception that is going around. I said, I'm happy you even use the word election when you're campaigning for election. Men have the idea that after elections, there's no need for campaign again. So all that he was doing, buying you this, buying you that, taking you there, taking you that, now that you're at home, why should you be bothered about all those things?
You have to protect your seat, else you lose elections next year.
Well, but some electorates can be deceived last minute.
The beauty of it is marriage. We try to tell you that it's something you can't break. It's not like election every 4 years you have to go and campaign again. So there's no motivation to work towards the next 4 years campaign. You see, so in the marriage, these are things you have to develop. Marriage is a matter of heart and endurance, because it is true, two individuals coming from different homes or different cultures or different geographical locations, even twins from the same womb have different ideology about things. So it is not a simple structure. It is not mathematics, even though it's a 1 + 1 equal. So fine, even in mathematics, you say 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But marriage, you are saying 1. So it tells you that logic alone, it doesn't work here. You understand? So calculating things as it is. Meanwhile, human life, human behavior, women are influenced by a lot of things. You understand? And as I'm telling you, whether we call it modernization or contemporary world, is coming to unveil a lot of things that are seriously affecting every marriage relationship, either positively or negatively, both sides. Fine, before our fathers and those things, men marry even 3, 4, 5. They will still have peace at home. You see all
surprisingly.
Of them. Yes. You will never see, you hardly see.
The kids don't do like this one's mother, this one's father. They all together.
Pastor, I'm not preaching polygamous families, but I'm just trying to establish the kind of peace, unity, and sense of security that stay at home. But in recent times, we begin to know things about human rights. I have a right. I am also working gender issues and all kind of things. Fine, we now believe that even at divorce, you have a right to this, a right to that. So people begin to faction their minds, even about economic benefits, gains beyond divorce than trying to protect their marriage.
Hence, there's a prenup. People are now signing prenups. Prenup is what you sign. So when you're coming in, what you have, you declare assets. I also declare my assets, so that when we are breaking off, I know that this is what's yours.
Why
this is what is mine.
Marriage, a unity that you want to keep for life, be like that. Me, in my mind, the kind of control I put on myself before I went into marriage is that once I'm going into this, whatever happened,
for the long haul.
No, it's a long haul. It doesn't mean issues don't happen. Issues happen. You have every opportunity to say you can't separate by law, by Bible, by social, whatever. But it depends on your what you put it by.
Okay. I wish we'll go back to the list we were, having.
Yeah,
we
so
started with
the character bit, and then the love thing that you said we should find. It should be something that at your lowest point the person expresses. Would you want to add anything else with respect to what you should look out for before you decide?
So in simple terms, like you asked before, me when I was going to marry, one of my senior pastors and father called me. He said, Kofi, there's no perfect person in this world. There's no Superman or Superwoman in this world. If you can find at least about 60% of what you want in life in a woman, it's okay. You should be ready to battle with the rest of the 40.
Therefore, meaning that you should make a list of the qualities you're looking for in a man or a woman before.
Find people who are critical, you can write them. Psychologically, you can. Once you see a woman, you should know, I need a tall woman, I need an educated woman, I need me in my mind. When I was going to marry, I said, I don't want to marry a corporate woman. I want to marry a business woman. A woman who will have time with my family, doing her own business.
Sure. Okay.
A woman
because of the nature of your job.
Yes, because I will be much. Maybe for a bit of my background, I have been a corporate person all my life. I had worked with
how it is there
for over 20 years. Do you understand?
Okay.
And I wake up at dawn, go to work, come late, and you marry a woman like that, she also wake up, go and come. I know there'll be a problem at home, and I do church business and all those things. So in my mind, I want a woman with a private business. So that one is there already. So I'm not going to look for any banker or somebody great. So that one is there. So if I found somebody like that, I pray that God, I need a woman of prayer. I found a woman and the prayer life is there. I want a Christian and she is there. I'm getting to my 60% too. But somebody else too, the kind of things people, a long hair, a pointed nose,
Coca-Cola bottle,
talk some. You see, when you go and look out for some of those things, you may get your 60% on the person. If you don't think issues like character, issue like industriousness of a woman who is ready to work. If you are somebody who like eating home food, and you didn't look out for that, you go and bring a woman who believes also eating from restaurant or whatever. These are core things you should look for. If you don't get those things right from the beginning, it is not advisable to go.
What are the critical things for a man when you want to marry? I've heard men don't need much. They need about 4 things. I don't know about the women too. Women, they say we need a whole encyclopedia to learn about woman, or you should even try to understand the woman. Just live with them. But for men, they need their peace of mind. They need the sex. They need the food. And what's the 4th thing?
Respect.
Respect, yes. These 4 things are key to a man. How true is that?
How true is the man?
The man's aspect. Let's deal with the man's aspect first.
Is it the man needs respect?
Respect. He needs peace of mind, sex, and then the food.
And the food. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So the key things actually. There could be other peripherals, but
it depends on who you say.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you will be surprised that there are people too. Food is not an issue. Food is not an issue. Somebody to find. As for respect, every man in court may want respect. Man may want love.
Peace of mind.
As for peace of mind, peace of mind is relative because it all built up from somewhere. If you say you want all these things, you also don't compliment it. Who will give you the peace of mind? Because you can't be abusing a woman and expect her to give you peace, respect, or peace of mind, or all these things. So these things, they are not a straight jacket things. Like we kept conversing. They all come, or they all. You see, human beings so dynamic or so complex that it is difficult to define what goes into these things. That's why, from Christian perspective, we always advise that a Christian must marry a Christian. But now we are talking generally.
Even that is being limited to you being in the same church also.
Not necessarily. For me, a Christian, you see, it depends on definition of Christianity or Christian. Who is a Christian? A Christian is a Christian. It's not everybody who goes to church that's a Christian. That is what we should know. So I will not say that marry somebody who goes to church. No, they are two different things. A lot of people go to church, but they are not Christians. So if you are a Christian, find somebody who is a Christian, believe in the same faith as you believe in. Because no matter who you are, even pastors, we have issues in our marriage. And there must be a reference point that you take your case to. And when you become critical, the Christian values is where will be the basis of your solution. So if a Christian marries another religion or a traditionalist, you come to a point, you see that the man who's that tell me I'm a traditionalist, I'm going to pour libation. Then you also feel that it's contrary to your belief. So you begin to have serious issues at home. Once the man is pouring libation, you are blowing tongues in the,
but, it's often said that you realize that most often when a man, maybe like me, I marry her, she'll eventually stop her church and join me in my church. It's also because sometimes, okay, if I allow her to be going to a church, every church have their own kind of activities in the week. Today she's going for women's fellowship, she's going to teach the youth, she's going to that, and then I'm not in the church to even know whether she's going there to also know. So just to avoid all those doubts about the person, that's where it's advisable to stick in the same church.
Yeah, that's also good. I know men also who follow for peace and unity who comes to the wife's church, and for one, that is the best. If the two of you are in same church, it's very good. But it is also not a fast rule. There are others too I know who have very nice families. Some are Orthodox, some are Pentecostal, but they have a very nice family life that nobody hears about these things. So it depends on individuals and what people want at any time and all those things. For example, I could compromise a lot of things in my marriage with understanding. With understanding. For example, when I was growing up in my father's home, when you cook, you have to lay a table for my father. You will never see him eating anywhere. And his food must be set first, covered nicely, alcohol, whatever. But in my home, we don't do that. If you are feeling hungry, you need to go to the kitchen. Sometimes, if my wife is available, she set the table and whatever. But it's not a fast rule, you see. So it could not create problem in my home. But somebody coming from a home I came from must insist. If you don't lay table for me, it's a big issue and it can bring separation.
I think on Father's Day we had the fathers now are quite liberal compared to our fathers. Because I remember I have a similar story in my home where my father is always, the dish is prepared, they select his first. He takes every bit of the meat in the soup and he alone sits by the dining table. You don't dare go sit by the dining table. When it's done, he calls you and mommy is waiting for him to finish. Say, be car, that kind of thing. But now we don't do those things. The fathers now want to sit with the kids on the table, have dinner together, have lunch together, have breakfast together. Exactly. Some even cook and all. They go to the kitchen.
Maybe in Accra, go to the village. In Accra, you have dining table. In the village, we don't have. So
true
it
though.
still happen. That's why I tell you, modernization is bringing a lot of dynamics into issue of marriage. I don't know how much time or how...
We can still go on.
Okay. So these things need to be looked at very well. We are now only talking about preparations to enter. And
I was going to venture into after having done it, the first things you should do. So you campaign with a promise, a policies, promises that you give. Now that you've won the election, what are the first things you should take care of?
So most time when you enter into marriage first, the first few years, I describe it as state of confusion.
Oh.
I heard that before.
Yes, because both of you come from different background. All of a sudden you are living with somebody. In the campaign period you thought you were loving one another. Now you get to now, those days when he or she is coming to visit you, she wear her best dress, clean her shoes nicely. You get to the house, a man came back from work, he threw one shoe, then throw another.
The socks is all over.
The socks is all over. Meanwhile, in your room, when you were alone, because you be coming, you always keep your room neat, and or maybe from your family, everybody is whatever. And you begin to see this thing. What is this? Is this what I'm going to live with the rest of my life? And the woman, every day, you're supposed to come back from work, you're supposed to cook. If pregnancy and those things enter, you can see the complications. And when children start coming, you have some of the men, you just dress and quickly rush to work. Now the woman has to bath the children, take them to school. So a total state of confusion. And at that point, the man, most men will begin to live bossy. I'm the head of the family, I'm the father, I'm this, I'm that. We don't do anything, most men, sometimes. And those confusions will come. But ability to manage is very, very important. Ability to accept the reality. Ability, this is where I told you the real life issues will start displaying. Because those days, if I buy you a watch and things, you are telling me I love you, you are the best I ever have. Now the reality comes, show me that love. Then the man came back, got angry. Why did you keep the house like this? The woman too, in her mind, hey, so all this trouble I've been going through this house, this man could not appreciate anything. And already you are in it. So who corrects what? How do we go about this? I will always advise that in every home, once you are married, set up some golden rules. Have some golden rules that will guide, that will bond, that will unite you at all times.
So, like in the honeymoon period now, I say after the honeymoon.
Once you start any time, you will find your convenient time. As for honeymoon, maybe your mind is still on the socialization or the so find a more convenient time. For me, there are a few rules I can share with you.
We don't mind at all.
Yes. After my marriage, there are a few things I told my wife. One, if for any reason we are both together, one, we must pray together. At least our morning prayers, no matter the timing and whatever. Not even with the whole family, the two of us, we must pray together. The reason being that even before we come and pray, if I've wronged you or there's a problem, everybody psychologically, you try to learn to forgive or find a way of bringing yourself together before we come and pray together. So there were times there will be issues we don't even talk to ourselves for days, but that prayer, because it's a golden rule, nobody breaks it. We'll come and pray. After prayers, we'll keep our...
Wouldn't one person rebel because...
At least so far, in my family, we never did that. When it comes to that golden rule, nobody breaks it. We try to observe some of these things. You see? And another one is, for us, we got to know quickly in our early days that we are not the type of people that can put our money together. Yes. My wife is a businesswoman. And from their tribe, they will always want to count their money. And know this is what I have.
It gives them
and have comfort. Oh, I'm doing well. And at the same time, the same money, she has to plan and go and use it to buy more stocks and all those things. So now I'm insisting that I am a banker, my salary is coming, so all of us, let's have one account, and it will create problem.
So that thing doesn't work for everybody?
No, it doesn't work. Me, I don't believe it. It doesn't work for anybody. I mean, everybody.
Some counselors will tell you have to put your money together. I should know what comes into your account. You should know what, and then we should have a joint account for a project or something like that.
All those things are advices. You should know better what works for you. We should be honest to ourselves. What works for you? In my family, we don't have any strict rule that this is a monthly fee or housekeeping money you must pay. We don't do that in my family. But there has never been any issue because I know my responsibility. I provide as much as I can. My wife knows what we need in the house. She brings in as much as she knows is needed. So there's nothing. If she needed something, she asked me. If I have, I say, this is it. If I don't have, she understands.
So the chop money bit that...
There's nothing like chop money in my house. We don't do that in my house. There's nothing like chop money.
Some people fight for chop money. Yes. They will fight if you don't give them chop money.
People will fight for it. You will know clearly that this money, you buy everything. When you go out and buy tomatoes, you buy goat, you buy fish, you bring rice, which is even more than the chop money. They will still collect.
Because I hear women are saying that no matter what, you still give her something. They want, like, even though I can go to, a friend of mine and I, we can go to Abubushi, go and do shopping. We buy a lot of stuff, take it home. Even that, you still have to do something. So why is it that women always insist that they still need, like, it's so money to carry the cash?
It depends on how you conduct your house. Me, that is how I would say it. It depends on how you, the man, conduct your home. You see? So from the beginning, if you set those rules, if you set the rules that there will be chop money and you give an amount to eat every month or every week, that is your golden rule. Go by it.
Okay. So should that be something like this the man is supposed to handle, this the woman is supposed to handle, or anybody can do anything at any time? Because some women pay fees for the awards and then they have to go back, take the money from their husband.
It depends, like I said, it depends on the family setting. It depends on the family setting. There are things that people put it that this is a man thing. A woman thing. Fine, you can make rules about it. For example, if both of you are salary workers, you can the man you could agree that the woman take care of the home, the man pay bills, rent, water bills, school fees and everything. There's nothing wrong about it. If it is working for you, there's nothing wrong about it. But it should also not be so stringent that it will come to a point everybody will see that maybe the woman is highly elevated, her salary can even be twice the man's own, but because the man must pay school fees, the woman never put in, even to the extent that they will sack your children from school. The man must go and borrow and pay. I don't think it's fair or fine. It's a family. I told you, the marriage life is about two people making one decision. Good decision, of course. So if you are in this and you even continue to separate yourselves, it doesn't really make sense.
So setting the golden rules is very key.
Setting the golden rules is very key, and the golden rules must be such that objectively everybody see that this is good, it will be helping. Some of them could be amended with time. You understand? Because time changes. Some of them could be amended and
review.
It becomes review. It becomes a natural culture you develop in the house. So you live by it. Another thing is it is important, fine, we are different ways or different people handling different issues. But me, my policy about marriage is if there's an issue between me and my wife, and me as a man or the two of us cannot resolve it, I have a difficult to believe that a third party can resolve it for me. Because at that meeting, fine, that one is individual. Yes. At that meeting, at the end of the day, they'll point out my wrong to me. Point out your wrong to you. And now ask you, apologize to your husband or your wife. If you yourself, you are not thinking and know you are wrong, and somebody must tell you
that's
before you do it. In the first place, you have exposed yourself, your whatever, outside, and now you have to eat your humble pie in presence of others and your wife. In most cases, even that, when you come back home, some people will apologize there, but when you come back home,
it's a different
the fight
game.
continues until the two of you agree that you are ready to forgive one another. Your problem will never be solved. So why can't you deal with it right from that point? That the two of you must learn how to forgive one another.
So for you, counselor's job is done after you marry. You don't need to be going back to
in my
them.
family, that is it. Because we attempted one or two times, it didn't work. It didn't work. Because most time, when you begin to do that, it creates more serious because the way I thought me and my wife we could handle things in my home, sometimes if you are not careful, you go and fight physically in presence of maybe your pastor, your counselor, and now the issue of whatever.
But Rev, I've actually heard from a lot of people that once you get married, or even before you get into the marriage, you should have this particular person that you think your partner gives, not fears, but gives reverence
or respect.
So that respects highly, so that in case something happens, once you tell that person, you think that your partner will submit to that person, and he or she will listen to that person, when then can bring peace into the marriage and all of that.
Yes, there's nothing wrong about that, but I'm telling you that the human beings, as long as time is changing, economic systems are changing, people change in tune with that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Respect is earned over certain things, or people revering people based on certain levels. It is very good. Counseling is important, even in my note, very, very important. You need counseling, you need teaching, you need upgrading your knowledge and having wisdom to deal with issues. And most time you need to get it from people or experience from people to guide you. So it is very, very, I will never sit anywhere to downplay counseling and advice. But the bottom line is, what are you seeking in that? Is to resolve an issue. So if you can resolve the issue, you may not need the counsel. Do you understand? It's because many of us refuse to take responsibilities. I was telling somebody yesterday that one key thing, you talk about the analysis of things you must do before you enter.
Exactly.
This one, we couldn't do it well before you enter. Most people cannot do. But as you enter and you are continuing, one big problem we have about two people resolving conflict is that people don't accept their responsibility or the fact that I am wrong or I'm also weak.
Ego.
The ego, even before you get to that level of ego, simple thing, you are wrong, you are wrong. You should learn to know, as for this one, I didn't do it well. Or I am also having a weakness. So if your wife did something, don't think you have all the facts. Now you caught her red-handed. Now you have all the powers. So you want to finish her. Or she want to finish you. Before you do that, sit back a little and have a sober reflection.
That is
you,
what
the
we often
man,
refuse to do.
Come again?
That is what we often refuse to do.
Yes, that is what we refuse. Because at that point, you see that everything is pointing to the fact that she is wrong. But you've forgotten that you're also a human being. You've forgotten that you have even done worse thing, but your own didn't come to light. So you are thinking you are perfect, you are this. If your own should come now, maybe you will kneel down begging. So if you learn this thing and accept that, you are also weak. What is happening, it can be resolved. You know that most conflict, if it can be resolved, the person who thinks he is right, if he can humble and lower his tone small, the other person will apologize and it will.
Yeah.
So most time it is those of us who think we are right. We rather aggravate the conflict. So at any time you feel your partner wrong you, before you pronounce your sanctions, come back to pinch yourself and realize that you are a human being. You may also have your weakness. Maybe you did something last time, she forgive you or he forgive you. Or you did something crash, she didn't know about it. And if she knew that, like this marriage is over.
Well, we are back to talking about personalities and character here, because these are the things that play a role. And I think we started off with the same conversation about character, knowing the character of the person before you marry. Does the character traits of people matter a lot when you're going to marry? Because some counselors will tell you, hey, he's phlegmatic. You don't marry somebody who is choleric because he will slow you down. He's melancholic. Don't date somebody who is this and that kind of thing, because those things will cause confusion in the marriage and you'll not be able to have a cohesive relationship and all those things. Does these things play a major role in marriage?
For me, I would say maybe those are researches people have done. I don't know how much scientific it is unless you match them clearly and test them. But one thing I also know is, if I'm talking from Christian perspective, like I told you, I believe marriages are ordained by God. It's God who chooses two different people to come together. And I'm citing an example about me and my wife. There is nothing too much. But we are here 28 years.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So those character traits or the scientific, fine, those things may come from studies as to how authentic they are. Sometimes it will work. But I also believe human beings, we are dynamic. Those things sometimes, even to check somebody's, you see that this character traits is the mixture alone. One person
can scare you.
So how would you clearly know this is the dominant character trace and the other one is lower? Because he's talking plenty, you think he's one thing. But what is inside the person? Me sitting before you, you see me very quiet. But what is inside me, decisions I can make. When you think about it, you never believe.
I tend to have such people think so of me. I've been a media person, radio presenter for close to 18 years. I go on radio, set talk. I come on TV, I talk. But on the other side, you see me more calm, quiet, and they think I fake my character. So I'm not a real person. I try to behave like I'm a talker. I talk, and then another time you see me quiet.
You are fake.
So if they are analyzing you for marriage now, your counselor, maybe when you go there, you are so quiet and you are behaving like, you are demonstrating some part of you, and he or she analyze you based on that and recommend certain character traits for you, and you go there, and the other one, the stronger one within, begin to display. How do you deal with that? So those scientific traits, unless it can be proven beyond reasonable doubt that it will work, I will advise that some of these things we are discussing, do your own test, be very sure, be sober, accept when you are wrong, be ready to forgive. You should know that, you see, when you say the two became one, whatever you want to do against your wife, feel that is your body. Feel that psychologically, the torture you are giving to the person is you who is receiving that. And feel how it will be. If a man, you want to slap your wife, feel like you are being slapped because the body is one. And if it is pleasant for you, do it. If it is not, sit back a little and manage the situation. And the progressive thinking should be that we are making this thing work. Once we enter, it is not about what I will be or what she will be. Sometimes, you see, there are things about women. Women are women. Men are men. And in any marriage, most people, I don't have any scientific proof, but most times the women think, oh, the man will grow old and I'll look after.
It's also coming from the backdrop that those days when you are going to marry, the man is always older than the woman.
Sometimes, fine, it's fine, it is true, but it doesn't mean the older dies first or gets
So, should the age matter in marriage?
Yes,
it should matter.
It should matter.
Wow.
Yes.
Why
age
so?
Is if a 70 years old man want to marry your daughter at 18, will you give it?
No, I wouldn't.
You will not.
Why would you?
Very obvious.
Why would you? The man has money, has everything. He's a Christian.
If he's a Christian, I'm not sure he even want to come and marry an 18-year-old.
Who says that? Why? Maybe at that age the wife passed and he's alone and he just want
companion.
A companion.
My daughter is not a companion.
So these are the age. The age gap should be reasonable.
Okay.
It should not be too.
What is reasonable for you before she comes? What is reasonable for you?
Oh, reasonable, average reasonable should be between. It should not be more than 10.
Okay, awesome. You've concurred what I've been saying all along. Please go ahead.
Okay, the phone lines will be activated shortly, but for now, the WhatsApp numbers are active. You can start sending your messages as regards to what we are talking about. We are talking about marriage, what to look out for in marriage, and we are discussing the golden rules as well. You might want to pick a thing or two. So whatever you're confused about, your messages, your thoughts, comments are all welcome via the WhatsApp numbers at the right hand side of your screen. And very soon, we're going to activate the phone line so you can call in and then ask whatever question you have as regards to our conversation today. We're having this conversation with the head pastor of Life Ahead Faith Ministries. He is Reverend
David Kofi.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We can continue with that.
All right.
10 years,
so
we're fine.
Rev, still on the 10 years bit, I've heard somewhere else from another Reverend Minister, respectable one, that marriages that are able to succeed or go beyond the 10 years become very authentic. Like they're able to, by then they would have probably been able to know all their loopholes, their shortfalls, their strengths, their weaknesses, their objectives and ideas and all that. And usually, as you said, he said the first few years are the turbulent times for every marriage. Would you also concur that after 10 years, then you would have said, yes, you've gotten somewhere, the marriage can even progress? Because most of the divorces we are seeing now ends within the 10 years.
Yes, I will largely, even though I won't say it's scientific, but at least with experience, if you are able to cross the first 5 years, because most early divorces within 5 years have to go.
Like business breaks even after 5 years.
Yes. So, and those who can endure a bit more by 10, some of them to break off. And beyond 10, the point is beyond 10, you have studied your partners a lot. You have done a lot of things together. Everybody at least find ways and means to go around the partner. So the probability that you can continue to endure is very high. So most marriages that cross 10 years are able to go far along the line. Sometimes the men, as usual, may misbehave a little, but the women, they will be saying because of the children, because of the children, at least that's their consolation. Let me stay here. I don't want to go and give birth to another man. And you know, women too, once you have 2, 3, 4 children, where are you going again? So they sound
eggs
like,
are all gone.
Yeah, come again.
Their eggs in the fallopian tubes are all...
yeah, these days too, they stop it early, so the complications are a bit. So yes, beyond 10 years, the probability that you will continue is very high.
Okay. So how do you... we've always, as Ghanaians, have an issue with culture of maintenance.
What?
Culture of maintenance.
Yes.
It's even affects our relationship as well. How do you maintain the relationship? So the way you started in the courtship, like we said, after elections, no campaign. People don't campaign again. They feel like, oh, so the plush hotels I used to take you to spend money. Why don't you save that money and use it for a common project? Maybe the money I used to spread on you, give you this, go and buy this, go and buy that, buy you Brazilian hair and all those things. Or rather say, let's save some of them to do other things. How do you maintain the relationship after the probably suppose enjoyable courtship that you had prior to the marriage, that you can go through the 10 years and even beyond?
Okay. So maintenance and the sustainability of the marriage, that is very, 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 very critical and important. I think I really want to talk a bit about that.
Sure.
And also to link marriages that some of them have gone even through separation or even divorce. There's no law that if you divorce, you cannot come back together. You can still come back. So maintaining marriage, like I said, so the other side of maintenance or sustainability is breaking. Do you understand? So if you are unable to maintain, it means your relationship will break or has broken. People are in marriages which is clearly a broken relationship. The two of them will be in the same house. They don't talk to one another, but because they have put their monies together to build a house, they have to be there. Do you see people like that? Yes, there are people like that. Do you call that marriage? Do we call it marriage? Or I don't know whether it's a marriage or not, but people live like that. So the question you ask...
They even sleep in separate rooms.
Yes, sleep in separate rooms. You'll be surprised, some of them even sleep in the same room. But they don't touch each other. They don't cook for one another. And they are all there. That is unfortunate. But how do you maintain? One, everything that has happened and led to that definitely is an issue. Some of them, when they sit before you and tell you the reason why they are behaving that in your mind you think, oh, this simple issue, they could have done this or that, but unfortunately they do not have the capacity to do it. So the first thing you do in maintaining or sustaining your marriage is that every partner in the marriage must learn to be doing self-examination. That's number one. Self-examination, realistic, responsible, honest self-examination at all time. Don't examine your wife, examine yourself. And accept if you are wrong. That is where the issue is. most time we don't do self-examination. We don't analyze ourselves and see that, no, I'm wrong. Even though it started well, even though I was doing well, even though everything was perfect, but at this point, it is wrong. What can I do? Do you understand? If I want to use a typical Bible story to analyze this, I will use the story of the prodigal son. The prodigal son, at a point, has wealth because he has taken the father's money. So it's like a marriage. You have taken, you are good, flamboyance, you have everything. Everybody saw that he's married, he's doing well. Went, blew it, do everything. It got to a point, even though he's alive, he wasn't dead. Nobody was chasing him. But he did a self-examination of himself and realized, no, there's something wrong. There's something wrong about me. I have wrong. He accepted his wrong. The prodigal son is not the father who chased him. Yeah. He accepted that, no, what I have done, I have wrong. So if you are able to do that honest self-examination and accept your wrong, I'm not saying that you must always be wrong. So you are two parties. Everybody is doing his examination. If it's the woman that is wrong, she should accept she is wrong. So now that you know you are wrong, then the second thing you must do, you see, knowing that you are wrong doesn't solve the problem. You must take the next step, that you must be broken. You must be broken. You must accept the fact that, no, it is not good. What I did was wrong. And I deserve punishment. I deserve this situation. So in that place, you could see clearly that what suffering the prodigal son was going, he deserved it. So you know what I did could lead to divorce. What I did that led to my children not going to school. What I did that makes our finances broke down. What I did that make my in-law died or something. You accept all these things. And once you are broken and you come to that level, then you tell yourself, all is not lost. All is not lost. Once you are alive, all is not lost.
I'm going to ask you a question about introspection, but
yes, I have a WhatsApp message, but before I get into that, the phone lines are activated now. It's 0302-776-379. We are talking about marriage, and at this point, we're talking about maintenance and sustainability in marriages. So whatever question you have concerning that, 0302-776-379. The phone lines are activated, so you can start calling and then give us your questions. And then we have few WhatsApp messages here.
Okay, sure.
This one is from Ernest, is asking that, should a woman help her husband who has lost his job to secure a new one? Rev.
This question, yes. There's nothing wrong if a woman helps the husband to secure a good or a better job. There's nothing wrong about that.
Okay, another message is from Bismarck. He's asking that in a marriage, is it you and your wife who plans the wedding, or it's your wife's uncle and aunties who will decide where your wedding should take place? But please help me with that. This message is from Bismarck.
So I should help Bismarck.
Yeah, help Bismarck to find out if it's between him and his wife to decide where the wedding will take place, or even the wedding planning in general.
And then the question is a bit subjective, but I don't know other situations around the whole planning or who is determined by me. If I marry my wife, I don't need anybody to determine me where I should do my thing. So you should know there's a question mark.
At times, depending on the family, so it could happen that maybe where the girl lives, that usually the traditional marriage is held. it's not pleasant enough, so they want to relocate to an auntie's place or something, a relative of hers. Those discussions can be had. Even my wife, who didn't do it at her family house, we moved to her auntie B house or something like that. That's fine, but it shouldn't be that they should decide. Like they should be the determining factor.
Like if there's what here is who worry bussy auntie.
Oh no, that one. Yeah. Okay, so before you continue, I think I have somebody on the line already calling. Joyce, good morning. Joyce, could you kindly move away from your TV set or lower it down? Okay.
I want to. Yeah, I did.
Joyce, I can hardly hear you. Could you raise the voice a bit for me?
I want to contribute to your program.
Please go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Joyce, go ahead with your submission.
Please, this marriage things that you are talking about, like somebody asking who should decide where to get married, and then if my husband or my partner don't have a job, should I assist him or her? Nowadays, marriage is different from the olden marriage that our forefathers are in. You can imagine our parents are still married up to now, and then we getting a divorce. We just go in for some years, then we are coming out. We are in a rush. It's like we are losing our culture, our values, where we are coming from. We are forgetting some certain things, and then we are like, we are in a modern world, so this, blah, 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 blah. There are some little things that we still need to go back. And some of these things, I don't blame we coming up these days. Some, I think I have to blame our parents and our grandmothers. There are some petty things that we're still lacking. Like how to say sorry without even knowing what you have done. There are some things that you just need to do, and then maybe one person getting angry, then you just let go of it, than going outside like to tell this, do this. What do you think I should do? And we, the youth these days, our mind, the marriage we are going in is for business. Some people are going in for what they will get, what will benefit them, not what will benefit the marriage sort of things. So even though and or some people will be like, sometimes when you think about it, or when you look at it, it's like you're building a home, you're building an empire together. This person is coming from this place. You also come. It's different background that you guys are coming from. So if one person loses you, you should know that in the other way, you should know that you have lost part of your job, because if this person is working and this person is working, their home will build together. So if your partner don't have a job and there's a opportunity, why not tell the person? And some people will go like, if you don't drop this money, I don't need to cook for us. You see, there's a whole lot of things in today's marriage that with the youth coming up, our parents, our grandmothers have to tell us, because they are still in their marriages and we are going out. We just got married a few years and then they are rushing. And some of them, if you listen to them, it's like it's what they talk, and when you look at them, it's like, my money is my money. My life is my life. You forgot you were at the church and you were like, the two has become one and blah, 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 blah. So it's a whole lot of things. I appreciate you guys for all that you are saying.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Joyce. She put a whole lot of things together. I was hoping that she was going to answer the question about the message about who decides the location, but she went ahead to add other things to it.
Okay, I have another WhatsApp message here. This one is from KK from Spintex. It's saying that, hello, my question is that in a marriage, should a man always listen to his wife's advice, or should he take decisions based on how he feels? Does it have biblical basis, and how is responsibility shared in a marriage? So it's 2 in 1.
That's it. 2 in 1. First, whether
the man should listen to the wife.
Fine. If you say always, the person used the word always.
Yes.
I don't think it can be always, but it's very, very good to always search your wife's opinion, or your wife also search the man's opinion. There shouldn't be that I'm the man, I'm the woman. It's good. There are decisions a man can make without consulting the wife, and it will be good. You could make some too, you will fail. So I think it should be open. Some of these things, they shouldn't be fast through. You should use wisdom and knowledge to address some of
Please,
these.
before you answer the second part of the question, I have a call. I don't want to lose the caller. So Jennifer from Kwashiman, Teshi rather. Good morning, Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. Please
Hello,
go ahead with your
good
submission.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Jennifer. Go ahead. Don't listen to the TV. Just pay attention to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. I want to give a contribution.
Go ahead, please.
And a question as well. My reason is that my husband was married for almost 5 years now. And when we got married, everything is moving on well. He loves me and I love him. I've not remembered the day we fought aggressively. Sometimes there's a slight misunderstanding. He supports me in everything I do, especially in terms of business, money, and everything. But one problem I have is that he cannot do house chores. I don't mean he should do house chores for me. If I travel, he finds it difficult to eat home food. You depend on outside, even if it's for 3 months or 4 months. He cannot cook. And I find it very worrying. And I want him to learn that he's not ready to do that. Please, that is my worry. How can I help him in that?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jennifer, for calling her challenge. Her challenge is the guy is almost perfect. He does almost everything. He's good, supportive, 5 years. And the only thing is that But sorry, before you answer that, you are about to answer the second part of the question. So let's answer that one before we move on to
how you share responsibilities in marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second part has to do with how you share responsibilities in marriage.
I think it's linked to even Jennifer's question.
You see, the responsibility issue depends. It depends on abilities and capabilities of the individuals. All must come from. It is not, you can't take a pen and paper and divide it. I will always use myself as an example. There are things I cannot do, no matter, or I don't like to do. For example, washing.
Hey, you're my twin.
That's why I call coffee. To wash. So if the responsibilities might be shared in the house now, this week you will wash, next week I will wash. Serious problem will be there.
Yeah.
But my wife can wash without any stress. If you come to scrubbing of toilet or washing dishes, I can easily do.
Yeah.
So this thing should be done freely. It should be a consensus building approach. It should be understandable. Those days of the bossy type, where our fathers are, those days are gone. I want to agree. We men, we must also learn and accept. Sometimes you see your wife, all of you go and struggle and come back home and she must cook. If it's understandable to get something and take care of that evening, but another day you cook, fine. It should be understandable. So responsibility sharing, I think it should be something that it should be a mutual conversation.
Okay.
It shouldn't be by force. Nobody should be too lazy.
So let's link with Jennifer's question.
Jennifer's question now, which is quite specific.
Okay.
I think it's quite specific. Answering such questions be difficult because we must know beyond what Jennifer told us. Maybe or give a fair hearing to the man also to speak before we can make a direct prescription.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the man doesn't want to cook or whatever, or from the background, or there are people who cannot cook. No matter what you do, the person cannot cook.
Okay.
He can attempt it. So you don't force him to do it. But Jennifer can take a time, since you love one another, teach him, let him learn how to make a small or simple things. If you know you are traveling, prepare and set a whole setup for him before you travel, so that maybe if you don't want him to go out and all those things. So these are issues that can be easily solved. It's not by force that everybody must cook or wash. That is what I can say now.
Okay, another WhatsApp message here says that must your wife know the amount of money you take every month as salary?
To get winner of my show, I was about to ask, focus on the finances. So we've been told that you should declare assets, sort of. When you're married, you should let the wife know how much you're earning, and she should also let you know how much she's earning, so that when you're contributing, you know, I've gotten to this level, so I can't exhaust the budget for you. So this is where I can do. But before you answer that, I have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from, sir?
I'm John Paul from Media.
Okay, Media. Please go ahead.
And I'm John Paul calling from Media.
Sure, I heard you. John, please go ahead with your submission.
Okay, yeah, I'm not married yet though, but I've been dating this girl for 4 years now and counting.
That's a whole degree.
I realized that for all this while, at every argument that we'll have, I'll be the one to compromise. Okay? I'll be the one to compromise at every argument that we'll have. And we got to a point a few months now, I've also decided to behave normal. And I realized that since then, the relationship has been wobbling. And I want to ask, is it the right thing I'm doing to always be the one to compromise? Or I just want to know if I'm at fault, or there is something wrong with the girl, or there's something wrong with the lady that I'm dating, because at every point in time that we'll have any arguments, I'll be the one to compromise. And since I started to behave normal, since I also started to behave like her, the relationship has been wobbling and almost getting to the end state. Please, I need advice.
All right. Thank you, John from Media, for your call and your question, Rev.
Okay, John, let me deal with your own quickly before I come back
to the finance,
the financial issue. You see, like if you've been listening to us, anyway, we are talking about marriage, but since your own is almost a degree now, you are considering yourself as a marriage. So these are some of the reasons why I said if it must be a marriage, then you don't give too long, like 4 years. Because by all means, you begin to see some of these problems. In this case, you are telling us you have been compromising. Maybe if you listen to your partner now, she will tell you how much she has compromised on a certain action or actions of yours as well. So that is your assessment. Like I'm saying, do a sober reflection on yourself. Look at it, that what am I doing that is bringing the issue, or that is making me think I'm the only person who have been compromising. That one, I have a little challenge with that specific statement, because there cannot be two relationships and you tell me 4 years you have not done anything wrong, or she has not compromised on anything. So do a better self-assessment. If you feel your partner is not doing anything right, have a confidence, call her to order. This thing you have done is not right. Why did you do it? Last time you did it this way. This is how I compromise, or I solve it. I help you solve it. So let's try to do it another time this way. You should have a fair or a free conversation. However, if it's a relationship you think you cannot continue with, or it's not leading to marriage, you can call it off and plan for your life.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. So you do have any message?
Yeah, it's
finance.
Okay, so please let's deal with the finance bit to wrap up. Okay. Our time is almost up. So so how should the finance be?
The finance, you said, must your wife or your spouse know exactly how much you earn? Right? Yes or no, depending on where you are coming from. Yes or no, depending on where you are coming from. For example, some people, if you want a situation, let's say, this part of the world, Ghana, you ask this question, answering it is a bit complex. When this question is asked in US, a place like US, UK, the answer will be yes.
Okay.
your spouse must know how much you earn, how you spend it, and that makes the relationship very, very understandable, and everybody knows.
What the cultural difference?
The cultural difference here is another matter. If you if you say it, it doesn't create any problem. Good. If you will not say it, and that is what gives you peace, there's no problem. Like I told you in my case, nobody says, but we have perfect peace about our finances. Nobody worry. If I need money and I don't have, my wife know. She asks me, I say I don't have. She understand. If I have, I don't hesitate to give it to her. So we don't have a problem. So there's no straight answer in Africa that yes or no.
All right.
It depends on what works for you.
Okay.
Okay. There's a last contribution here. It says that, hello, good morning, most beautiful Stephanie. I'm really enjoying your program. Keep it up. It's very educative. Thank you.
All right.
For you out there for sending that.
Okay. So Rev, the wrap.
The wrap.
What do you have to tell marriages out there? This is your camera, actually.
Okay. This one. Okay. Sure. So in a wrap, to marriage is a very good relationship. It is the most perfect social relationship you can have, and have a best of your life. And I will encourage everybody to enter into a respectable marriage and keep it for life. It doesn't mean it comes without issues. Your ability to resolve your marital issue alone tells you can be a good manager or a bad one. If you are unable to manage your family, your marriage perfectly, you may have issues with people and whatever leadership position you are assume, especially as a man. And the same applies to the women as well. So marriage is good. If you have issues in your marriage, do self-examinations, accept responsibility, be broken, and beyond the brokenness, it doesn't end there. Now take a step. Sought for knowledge and understanding or wisdom. Knowledge is how do you solve it. You could read books, you could contact counselors and other things we are mentioning here. You could look at how people are making it. And the wisdom aspect or the understanding is whatever you've read, whatever you heard, how to apply it. So you need the two. The knowledge, which is the what, and the wisdom or understanding, which is the how
application
to apply it into your marriage. And when you are able to do this, finally, if you are a Christian, pray. Pray always in your marriage. Try to do things with understanding. In every marriage, there shouldn't be that sense of this is my own. Don't let economic possessions in marriage be more than your social cohesion. If we are able to do this, you have a very successful marriage. And your life will be perfect.
Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
the education and insights into that. So he's the head pastor of Life Ahead Vision Ministry, and his name is Reverend. I almost gave you doctor. That's a prophecy, maybe. It's Reverend David Kofi Wuko, and he joined us with a conversation about marriage. He's Reverend David Kofi Waku, and he joined us with a conversation about marriage, and I'm sure you've learned a lot of things that you're going to shape your marriage as well. So once again, thank you very much on behalf of the team. We appreciate your time, and I wish you all the best.
You're welcome.
So
before we go, I want to say happy birthday to Mrs. Bennett Sakofa Avenue. Today is your birthday, and a blessed birthday to you. I wish you nothing but the best in life. I wish you long life with good health, with beautiful marriage life and beautiful children as well. So a happy birthday to you wherever you are, Mrs. Benny's Akofa Avenue. And I also want to say a big thank you to Everything Beauty GH for my makeup products, and a big thank you to Apparel V for my dress today. I look pretty. I'm grateful to you. So you can find Apparel V on Instagram. It's APPARREVL and then VEE Apparel V on Instagram, or you can give her a call or a WhatsApp via the number 0249 222 678 0249 222 678. So that will be all.
All right, thank you. So it's a wrap for today. It's a wrap for the week. Thank you very much for joining us from Monday till now. We're going for the weekend, and as I always say, whatever you do must be done in decent moderation. My name is William Diego Parker Benin, and I was here with...
My name is Stephanie Ejojina Manyana.
On behalf of the team, we say thank you and enjoy your weekend. Stay safe and catch you other flips out on Monday.